addressed by our TYE President, Suresh. Then we will get started with the presentations. So we are going to give 10 minutes for each team to present, and then there will be 5 minutes for question and answers. And we have our distinguished judges who would listen to the presentations and judge each presentation and each team. Following the presentations, we have a chief guest who would give us some of his thoughts around entrepreneurship. Followed by that, we will announce the winners and give the certificates. And we have also arranged for lunch, so please stay back for the lunch and give us any feedback you have for the program. So that's probably the agenda for today. Let's start with address by TYE President, Mr. Suresh.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I hope you're all excited. This is, as Sangha mentioned, this is our fourth year we've been doing this program. And the basic idea of this program is not that we expect you guys to go out and start a business right away and all that, but that you will learn some leadership skills. And every year after the program, parents come and tell us that how their kids have kind of turned into adults after the end of this program. And I'm hoping that you guys have learned a lot in this last 3 months. And we obviously are very excited to see your business plans and presentations. And this year, one of the learnings we did from last few events is that to bring in really independent judges. And this year, we have some really great people as judges for all your presentations. And typically we had a charter member or a charter members as judges. And we realized that there could be a potential conflict of interest. Some friends, son, daughter being part of the team and all that. So we said, let's remove all of that doubt. And so this year we have, Ajit Rangnekar, ex-dean ISB. We have Dr. Narayan, director of TYE, and we have TM Muralidharan. He's the head of one of the largest HR organizations in the country. So with that, another thing is, this year we had also announced a fund for doing prototypes. So I don't know if any of you have taken advantage of that in terms of actually going out and building a prototype for one of your business ideas. There is about 10 lakhs available as a complete pot, and there's fairly well-defined guidelines on who is eligible and how it can be utilized. And so in case you did not have the time to actually build a prototype, the finals obviously is going to be, I think, sometime in June, I believe, or May and June. So you have time till then to actually utilize those funds and go out and build this prototype of yours and showcase yourselves. So with that, I will let Sangha take over, and we will have an exciting day ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh. So let me also invite Mr. Venkatesh. Mr. Venkatesh will introduce us to the guests, to the judges.
Like what Suresh was saying, we have 3 really eminent judges, and it's a real privilege for us to have them with us today. And may I please, Ajit Rangnekar was the former dean of Indian School of Business, and he's had several positions in a career spanning over 30 years in consulting industry across different countries in Asia. Along with him, we have T. Muralidharan, chairman of the TMI group. First generation entrepreneur, so there should be a lot of things in common with what you can aspire to. What he would say, he's made his mark in the recruitment space, one of the very earliest and the biggest here in this business. TMI Network, CNK Management. So he has his unique philosophy in believing that fitment is all about making the right candidate work for the right company in the right job. So he's a pioneer. We're really glad to have him with us. PJ Narayan is director of TYE Hyderabad. He has a lot of technical interests, including computer vision, computer graphics, and parallel computing. He served as the president of ACM India, the Association of Computing Machinery, from 2012 to 2014. He was also visiting scientist an interactive visual media group, Microsoft Research in Redmond. He's also published many technical journals for colleges and universities, and I know that a lot of your ideas are quite technical, and so we're glad to have him here to give his views. So welcome to the
Now we're going to get started with the presentations from the teams. So this year we had 50 students from 25 different schools. So this is a very inclusive program. So these 50 students, we organized them into 8 different groups. And these groups were completely heterogeneous group, right? So, so we made sure that every group had a couple of 12th class students, a couple of 9th class, and in between as well. And they're also from different schools. So we made sure that they work with each other and work as a team. So the way we are going to do this is we'll give you 10 minutes for each team to present. And at the end of 8 minutes, there will be a short bell so that you say that your time, you only have 2 more minutes left. And at the end of 10 minutes, there is a long peak. So that means you have to stop there. So then after your presentation, we'll have question and answers by judges, and we'll also open up to the audience. So you're welcome to ask questions as well. So with that, let's start with the first team, Obstart Marka. This team was mentored by Mrs. Nandita Das. So she has actually worked with them over the last month. So while this team is presenting, we would request the second team to be ready. So the next team would be Tap Long. So towards the end of this presentation, please come out to the right and get ready for your presentation.
Good morning, everybody. We are Group 2, and our company is called Obstart Marka, and we're brand serious.
So we are registered as Obstart Marka. Our company is specialized in branding, and we aim to help urban startups and rural artisans to make a brand image for themselves.
So I'm Rumi Verma. I'm the CEO of the company, and I study in Rockville International School.
I'm Warren Gayden. I'm CTO of the company, and I'm from Chirek International School.
I'm Rebecca Phillip. I'm from Chirek International School. I'm the CMO, and the CFO of the company.
So our statement vision is that we exist to make urban startups and rural geographically specific goods more famous so they have more sales and ensure 100% success.
So our company. So we aim to help startups by building a brand name by different branding services. So some of these include advertising, web design and development, building a bridge between producers and retailers when it comes to rural branding, and photography and digital marketing.
So the problem we're trying to address by starting this company was that 90% of the startups that are there in India fail, and 40% of them fail due to branding problems because they fail to brand their company the way it's supposed to be done. So, so out of the many features services that we provide as a part of our company, these are a few, and these are a few benefits that we've listed down. So for when we advertise, we make sure that more people become aware of the business and know its existence. And we also focus on web designing developments, which effectively advertises the company and the company's services. Producer retailer relationships. Also, we'll be working with the rural artisans, as we mentioned earlier. So, improve relations between the retailer and producers increases the availability of the products that they make. Digital marketing and photography, they make sure we can effectively measure the kind of advertising we're doing and give a visual idea of the happening of the company.
So why us?
Alright, so one of our very prominent features and what distinguishes us from the other competitors or other people in the same industry is our ability to provide customization. So customization, I mean in the sense that we work on case-to-case basis. So when we address a company, we analyze its position and recognize its needs so that we're able to provide a very strategic and specialized market strategy, branding strategy for them.
So a second is we're one place for all branding needs. So what a startup usually needs to do is contact 5 different companies for 5 different aspects of branding. Whereas for us, which is one company contact us, sign a contract with us, and it's just your entire branding will do for you. And our competition, there is a lot of competition, but each competition company offers very specific branches of brandings. For example, some focus on mainly advertising, on billboards, and some focus on logo design, whereas we cover all aspects of branding.
Also, one of our long-term goals, which we'll be talking about more specifically in the further slides, is to help rural artisans because we think that they aren't completely, they don't get what they completely deserve because there's so much talent hidden within our own population. So we try to help rural artisans, bring them into the spotlight and help them more. So this is something which differentiates us from other startups and other things which help, branding agencies which help startups build brand names. So this is one of our unique things.
So operations includes an in-house team, which contains many teams, for example, a website designing team, photography team, and a digital marketing team. And for our channel partners, we don't have many. Of course, we have electronic and paper media partners, but we decided to go mainly for an in-house team because that cuts down costs by a lot.
Alright, so the target market for us, as we already said, was small urban startups and rural artisans. And of course, there are like around 4,200 startups in India, and most of them happen to be from the urban sector. And in the short run, we do want to focus more on the urban startups and make ourselves more available so that we can gain more, gain more customers from the urban startups and help them build a brand name for themselves. But in the long term, we do intend to help the rural artisans, which will be featured on our website.
So these are the various branding services we provide, and this is how much they approximately cost.
So our business model is very simple and very to the point. So we have 2 models for each sector, which is urban and rural. So for urban sector, we have 2 models, and we have like 3 things that we take from the client, which will be the fee, equity, and share in sales revenue. So when we take a fee of 10,000 rupees, we take an equity of 15% in the company for 5 years, which we can sell if we want to, and then the share in sales revenue will be nil. And then the model 2 involves a fee of 10,000 rupees, but then we would not be taking any equity and taking 20 to 30% of the share in sales revenue.
And as for rural, our model 1 includes 5,000 rupees, no equity, and 30% sales revenue. And model 2 is 10,000 rupees, no equity, and 15% share in revenue.
Alright, so this is our projection, profit and loss projection for the next 3 years. So when we calculated our operating expenses, they were around, 2,50,000 rupees, 50,000 rupees, and we assume that if we get around, because we're starting in 2017, we assume that if we get around 10 startups to work with over the course of 12 months, we intend to raise around 4,80,000 rupees based on the pricing we have done. And through this model, we realized that we'll be breaking even between 2017 to 2018 because here we'll be making a profit of around 4,25,000. So this, which is quite a positive this thing. And one of our milestone is to gain around 10 startups because that will make it much more likelier for us to be able to break even within these 2 years, so that we'll be more likelier to gain profits during the course. So, okay, so based on our investment capital, we ourselves, like our core group itself, decided on putting in our own personal earnings, something that we have received. So that raised around 4 lakh rupees for us, and from friends and families, we have gained around 2 lakh rupees. So the kind of investment we need is definitely close to 10 lakh rupees, which will help us go ahead with clearer cash flows within the organization.
Was this worth it? You enjoyed doing it? Yes. Lovely stuff. Very good. Good. I think people have done a lot of thinking, and I really appreciate it. To sell your services, how are it's fine to say that we are brand for everybody else. How are you going to brand yourselves, and how are you going to let people know who you are? And where is that cost included?
So before branding anybody else, we always with almost not taking very little money from them, just to prove ourselves and to establish ourselves as the company. So just the first 2 companies, very little. So we have an example to show when we're promoting ourselves directly.
So we're basically branding ourselves first. So our first client would be ourselves for us, because we'll be advertising and doing whatever services we provide for we intend to provide for other clients. We would do it for ourselves, so we're able to be more prominent within the competition that we have.
So your go-to-market.
I didn't quite get the question.
No, I mean, how would these startups, even those first 2 startups, get to know you?
Right. So so we would go, like, we wouldn't expect them to come to us. So we would first go and put ourselves out there and say, and try to.
Where is out there?
Then, since we go to different startups, that we have recognized a few startups which could potentially do much better. So we listed down a few startups which we would like to work with, and we would go and try to see if they would like to work with us.
So we even made our own website.
Okay, how much time do we have for questions?
5 minutes. So we can continue to go on.
Okay, I really didn't understand your market slide. There were a whole lot of percentages in it, but no real value. Can you elaborate a little on what that market is? What is the size of the market?
So as I said, the market size is really huge, and we don't. Of course, we're not going to work with the whole of it, but we do. Yeah. So what we do is, we did estimate our first capital that we'll need to start, just to bootstrap, and then we estimated how much we need to set up, at what range we need to set our prices at, so that way we'll be able to cover our costs faster throughout the years. So as in that slide, I did mention our operating costs and fixed costs very specifically.
And your basis, what's your basis for deciding that you're going to charge either 10,000 or 5,000? And what's the basis on which you think that somebody will pay you 30% of their top line?
Yeah, so that's one thing that we need to talk to them, sit down with them and actually discuss this. The fee will obviously be very adamant about that, but then the percentage in sales revenue.
And the way we fixed on the prices we did was based on the kind of costs we had to put in for our services. So when we estimated the fixed costs and all of these things, we were able to divide, allocate some amount of money that we will most probably be spending on each company or each client that we work with. So we set a very minimal, at least for the beginning, very minimal profit margin for ourselves. So that, and the kind of fee, which was like 5,000, 10,000 rupees, was just to maintain cash flow and not create a cash flow crisis within the company. So so that's how we decided our prices.
Thank you.
Good news is that I think most of your presentation, your IIT will make the same level of presentation. Please be aware that so that's a good news. What you need to demonstrate to us He's more on customer insights. We need to do, fortunately, things like rural artisans we talked about, startups. A lot of data is already published. We would like to see, if you're going to take to the next round, please bring in some data of what your research has shown on the consumer insights.
So we did a research, so in the
The insight should come in the presentation.
Yeah,
Not saying you're not.
it actually was in the presentation, but somehow it didn't.
A question like how much are we going to pay for, they should come from some research data, because otherwise an assumption on Excel sheets. Right? We also do the same thing. The last part is about consumer insights, is about artisans. We are doing a product for MSMEs, which is similar to yours, and we are finding out that the digital marketing reach is very limited to urban areas and also certain quality of people. So still the penetration of Wi-Fi, penetration of data bandwidth is still not very good. So digital marketing as a basis for reach also is something you have to think about. That will come from Pennsylvania.
You talked about web and photography and also about social media, especially you talked about rural. How does social media reach the rural? I mean, WhatsApp is far more popular than say Facebook in the rural areas. How do you exploit those?
So, as we already said, like it's really hard to reach to the market in the rural area because you can't expect them to have access to the internet or the kind of advertising that we're planning to do, which is mostly digital. So what we tried doing was, as we said, our long-term goal was to help rural artisans. So in the short term, we'll be mostly working with the urban market itself. So when it comes to rural artisans, more than them coming to us, and we mentioned geographically specific goods, so we intend to go to them ourselves and connect them to the retailers. And if like there's many other which kind of help these rural artisans, like retailers which bring these rural artisans and crafts to the people who are willing to buy. So we thought on the long run, when we're able to gain enough profits to fund them to come and help them out, so that way we'll be able to, we can feature their products on our website, which will kind of make us a retailer as well.
Yeah, so our website will be like a hub for many different startups. So there'll be a rural and an urban sector within the website, and when you go to the rural, there'll be information of every type and linking to the website that we've created for them. Also, when it comes to rural, we're gonna when we go to the rural enterprises and contact them, it's basically bringing them to the urban market. So that would be much easier than spreading their own word.
So social media, as you were saying, was mostly for the urban market.
Great job, start market. So I think presenting for the first time is always tough, right? Let's give them a big round of applause. So we also allow questions from the audience. So if anybody has questions that you want to ask them, you could ask them, or we can get started with the second team. Okay, so let's start with the second team. So the second team is Tapman, and they are mentored by Mr. Bias. So they have figured out a nice way to teach us new languages.
So we're Taplang, and our motto is the world's evolving beyond borders, don't get left behind.
So before we begin, I'd like to read a quote to all of you. If you talk to a man in a language that he understands, that goes into his head. If you talk to a man in his own language, that goes into his heart. That's a mind. So like this quote shows how fundamental the problem we are dealing with, and why it's so important for us to solve.
So coming to our team, my name is Suhas Pila, and I am the CEO and the CDO of this company.
I'm Kaustubh Devki. I'm the CTO of the company.
I'm Advait Rao, and I'm the CEO of the company.
Unfortunately, our marketing and financial heads could not be here today due to some unavoidable circumstances. So since most of us here are participants, I'd like to ask all the students here, how many of you take a foreign language as a subject at school? Okay, so a good amount us here, and I also see quite a few professionals here. How many of you have had situations where either you or your employees had to travel to a country where the language wasn't the same as your own? Again, a good number.
Yeah. So, like, increasingly students are taking foreign languages as their subjects, and even professionals are scrambling to learn foreign languages, as like MNCs like Apple, Microsoft are increasingly look out for employees who are able to flaunt foreign languages to their CVs. And yeah, tutors for desired languages, foreign languages, are hard to find, and even the quality of classes aren't up to the mark. So, like, the quality of the classes cannot be like defined until you take the test, and same for the tutors. Potential students are in scarce.
So what is our solution?
The solution brings together the best of the various learning language methods, which starts off being matched the tutor with working with him or her to create a personalized lesson plan, and we have integrated our app with the Duolingo and Quizlet platforms. Throughout our learning experience, your progress is known thanks to the Duolingo fluency indicators, study sets available in Quizlet, and some level aptitude tests were integrated into our app. Our tutors therefore enjoy the ability to attain access to a large student base so that they can earn income around their own decided schedule.
In essence, what our product is an app that connects customers who wish to learn a foreign language to tutors who teach that foreign language. This way, we're removing the factor of location, and we're making it much easier to identify a suitable tutor. And for students who wish to learn languages that aren't as studied, like Mandarin or German, for example, this will be a much more effective solution in identifying a tutor. Secondly, a key part of our app is integrating the Duolingo into our app as a foundational platform. Duolingo is a language learning tool based on self-study that has over 112 million active users today. It's based on concept-specific modules. Working with Duolingo gives us an immense benefit. Firstly, with Duolingo, we're able to give a curriculum for teachers to work around, especially if the students aren't looking for a qualification like the A1 to the C2. Secondly, if the student already has some knowledge into the language that they wish to learn, there's no time wasted by the tutor in understanding that person's fluency, because Duolingo has a fluency indicator inbuilt. And with Duolingo, we're actually making the resource and the homework assignment much more seamless task, because tutors can do that directly from within our app, and all these tasks are graded automatically. And lastly, but definitely not least, with Duolingo, we're going to be able to give tutors and students a much greater insight into the type of progress and concept learning that they're making. Because with the Duolingo platform, now instead of tutors having an ambiguous understanding to the type of progress that the student is making, going, okay, this student has an okay understanding of this language, you'll be able to say, this student has understood concepts A, B, and C clearly, but still needs some revision on concept X. I'm pleased to tell you that we have our UI prototypes. These are a few screenshots that we've taken directly from our app. And on top of this, we've already identified the resources that we require to integrate both Quizlet and Duolingo into our app, and also a whiteboard platform that we'll be using. So coming to our unique selling point and our value proposition. So there are two distinct business advantages that we will have because of our idea itself. Firstly, our business is easily converted into an international business. Because how many places are there that don't have people that are looking for foreign language tutoring? And for our learners, the unique selling point is that we're a one-stop solution. There's a benefit of convenience, and we'll be able to provide high quality tutors. And with our app, we think that there'll be a greater transparency into the type of tutors that they'll be having because of user ratings, and also we plan to develop a smart rating which will sort of measure the number of classes taken with a tutor in comparison to the Duolingo fluency indicator. For our teachers, the unique selling point is quite obvious. It's time flexible and connecting to students is much easier.
Our market research shows that we are in fact targeting a very large market. The market size of online tutoring in India is rupees 3,500 crore, which world is $40.27 billion. Our market survey shows over the last month in our ideation process, we conducted a survey to understand the problems and needs of a high school student who is taking the online tutoring. And the most common and effective ones are, firstly, surprisingly enough, we found out that 1 out of 4 students indicate they would like to have some sort of foreign language tutoring. We feel that this will make it much easier for us to gain traction. Secondly, the identification of tutors and time wasted in travel seems to be the issue with the majority of respondents and complain about the pain points. Our product is essentially built around, and finally, an overwhelming 73% of students claim to be willing to give up the traditionally private tuitions to take their classes online, an important point that will aid our customer acquisition progress.
Coming to research, we found out that like it costs about 600 per class for foreign tuitions, which we have taken for our revenue forecast. And we forecast that by the year 2019, we will have taken like 25 lakh classes over the platform, 25 lakh classes over the platform with the given base of 1.25 lakh customer base.
Our revenue projections are, the gross revenue in the first year is 37,50,000. After the completion of 5 years, it will be 83 crore 3,97,296. And our gross margins are negative in the first 2 years, but from the third year we break it. And the net margins are negative in the first 3 years, but after completion of 3 years, we will be attaining the profits.
Alright, that's it. Thank you.
Actually, address all of you here. Okay? We saw the first 2 presentations. Okay? And in both the presentations, there was something very interesting. They first started like the TV anchors, one sentence each, the other sentence, etc. And then at some stage, both the groups switched to one person doing a lot more. Which was more useful? The one person speaking is always a much better. Okay? In any given team, there will be different people who will do different things. Everyone does not need to speak. Get your best spokesperson and let the best spokesperson speak. That doesn't mean that the spokesperson is the only one who has done the work. Okay? So these are things that we try to be too democratic in groups. You should be too. You must put your best person and let that best person do the convincing. And in both the cases, actually, there were people who really did well. So this and this. The second thing is 2 or 3 other things. Please specify the source of your market research. Just saying we did market research doesn't mean anything. Okay? You may have asked your uncle and aunt and say that's market research. Or you may have just done some Google study, but it's always good to have that discipline and do that. And the third thing is, when you're forecasting anything in the future, at best you can say this is 40%, 50%, 20%. But to say that it's going to be 187 crores, 378,653.37 paise, somehow, these are only arithmetic. So arithmetic doesn't. I have just one last observation. I think, giving presenters support stuff like this is an excellent idea. And, that way you make it easy for people to follow. You also use, extra material which you can't fit into your time. So well done from that point of view. Extremely. One or two questions. I'm assuming that you guys did this all entirely yourselves.
Yeah, supposed to make the assumptions and the trend that he would expect. But
Excellent.
yeah,
Excellent, because I think this is a really high quality job and I'm very, very impressed by this. So in that, these assumptions you're making,
yeah,
right? That is, you can change those assumptions. Instead of getting 80%, you say 50%, all your figures will change. So always do an alternative.
yeah.
So that you know what is up and down. Are you also going to provide things like rating of tutors,
Yeah, so
payment facilitation, etc., etc.?
yeah, so we want the entire thing to happen over. We don't want it to be an offline match. We want everything to happen over our platform. And like I said earlier, we do want to include ratings. We also want to develop a smart rating using the Duolingo fluency indicator, so we can create a ratio between the fluency progress and the number of classes taken. So we want to do that so that it's a much more transparent experience.
So what will prevent a student from directly approaching a tutor and saving that fee to you?
The fees charged to the tutor itself, not the student.
Tutor. Even tutor, right?
Yeah.
So if I now got to know you,
Yeah.
I don't need to pay this company, I'll directly deal with you.
Yeah, so one thing that we found with tutors with our market survey, that between working hours, they do not have a lot of they don't have a lot of students to teach. So we feel that because we can expand into an international business, and this will be a much more time flexible way. We think that lots of tutors will adopt our platform because they will have this time flexibility.
So think also of other things, performance, etc., which will keep it sticky.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent work, well done.
Maybe one out of 5 of you try to learn a language using this model yourself. Because if you can understand what is important for the
I take tuitions for Spanish, and I do use the Duolingo quite often. But the thing is, I've never been able to make the tuitions coordinate with Duolingo. So yeah, we not directly in the model, but I've done both parts of it.
Yeah, but so your evaluation of the online market, or the market for online,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. I mean, these numbers are eye-popping numbers.
Yes.
So how do you even your own projections are eye-popping for a 5% company. So I hope you will get somewhere there.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think Ajit said correctly. In any projection, the first is assumptions.
Yeah.
And second is making a business model, making assumptions from output numbers, and then experimenting with the numbers. I think the first two you have done, but you've not done enough of the variation. For example, scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. So you seem to have predicted only the most optimistic, most eye-popping scenario.
Yeah.
So I think the first part, high value for assumptions, history. Second one is, I think, what you said. I think your market, you started by presentation by asking how many of them have been abroad, and how many have gone to a country.
Yeah.
And you talk about student market here. What's the market segment? For example, my question to you, one is the student market is one segment, and that also only, if I can understand, Indian schools, IAC, CBSE, do they need to learn a foreign language? Is that part of the curriculum?
We didn't target both market segments.
So why would somebody ICC school learn this and when he's struggling with maths, physics, chemistry, and wants to talk into IIT? Why would he learn a foreign language?
Yeah, that's true. But what we did present was from our market survey, which did show, we did have from our market survey, we did see that we got a wide range. We took the curriculums that each student was studying, And then within those curriculums itself, that we were able to find that some students did want to study.
I think this question was the same. The survey, if you look at the sample size, will all be mostly your college or school friends. They're already in an international school or studying international curriculum. So I think this is very important. When you do the assumption, extrapolating something one from another, you need to do a little more thinking on it. The last part, I think, what I like is a more visual presentation than the first one. Presentations have to be visual, which I like, the colors, but you have to look at the color schemes in the context of lettering and the color. Black on red may not readable, or white on red may be readable. So look at the color schemes. My last comment is, most of us in this room have learned languages by watching movies. Right? I'm sure Hindi movies, many people have learned Hindi by Hindi movies. So visual medium in learning, more than a tutor, supplementing this visual medium would be a more attractive option. Part of your model. What he said was, why do we need a platform? Platform has to offer more than connectivity between the tutor and the QT. It has to offer a lot of other services, and therefore if you go directly, those services will not be available. So what are the other services we can offer? To tie down the tutor and QT to your system. And one of them is a lot of visual content already available. Dictionary, people play games with them. Way of learning. People learn a lot of foreign languages by playing games. Simple being a foreign game, a variety of entertainment. Into this, so that it makes it attractive.
Questions from the audience to the group? If you have questions.
I am not understood what is the exact product of it.
It's an app that connects foreign language tutors to students wishing to learn a foreign language. And it also uses two other language learning tools called Quizlet and Duolingo in coordination.
So, what is the time span of the course? When I say immediate learning?
No, it's one-to-one tutoring. The student itself can provide his needs.
Suppose I go to a foreign country. I want to get within 2 days to learn some local languages. Translate myself.
No, that's not what our app is aimed towards.
What kind of product exactly? What is the market segment or what is the product or what is the
Any other questions?
So that's a great job by Tapline. Thanks to us. So this team was mentored by Piers. So he runs a company in the education space. So that mentoring. So this year we try to match each group's idea to the mentor's business. So that way the mentor could infuse some of the expertise from that particular area. Right? So that really helped in this case. Mrs. Nandita just walked in. She was the mentor for the first team. So let's start with the third team, Quick Care. So their service provides a transport solution for disabled and elderly.
Good morning, everyone. Our company is called Quick Care. My name is Sneha and I'm the Chief Executive Officer.
My name is Riya, I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
My name is Siraj and I'm the Chief Operating Officer.
My name is Fazan, I'm the Chief Financial Officer.
My name is Manish, I'm the Chief Technical Officer.
So as you can see in this picture, this man is having trouble getting into a car. There are a lot of disabled people in India who face the same trouble. For example, recently one of my friends had a knee dislocation and she couldn't get into cars or go out with us and do normal stuff like all of us do. And that's how we got inspired to make our app and product. The problem includes the fact that there are 62 million disabled and elderly people who face this problem every day, and it's very difficult and unsafe for them to go into cars without being comfortable. And they cannot call an ambulance because it's not an emergency, but they would prefer to go in an ambulance because it's more comfortable.
The solution we found is that we'll provide transport services, which is like the middle ground between a cab and an ambulance service, and it comes in the format of an app. All of our vehicles will be equipped with stretchers, All of our vehicles will be equipped to serve our customers with ramps, stretchers, and wheelchairs. These are the vehicle modifications I was talking about. As you can see, there's a ramp which is used to lift up the wheelchair. In this picture, like the seat changes position, so it's easier to get off the ramp. The app works similar to Uber or any other cab service app, where you will choose a nearby vehicle and it will track your GPS location. The modified vehicle will come to pick you up in your location within a specific time, and you can make your payment through cash or by the app.
Our app, the customer app, he can book the cab from the app, and the app will show the GPS location wherever the person is, and the driver will get the alert and will get the driver's name and the number, so he'll come and pick you up. The driver will get the alert, he'll get the location where you are, he'll get the maps and he'll reach you. The payment can be done through online, through cash, card, or Paytm.
So our target customers would be the disabled, the elderly citizens, the frequent patients who visit the hospital, and the pregnant women. Coming to our marketing strategy, we would use social media as it's one of the most effective ways for advertising. We would be using print media and electronic media as it is one of the widest used modes of advertising. We would give our customers the best of the experiences, so they're really happy with our services and they come back to use it again and again. So we would give them as many as reward points and offers as possible, which will make them happy and use our services frequently.
Our partners mainly include private vehicles, private ambulances, Paytm, and banks. Right now, our main competitors would be private ambulance services, but we wouldn't exactly call them our competitors because we're not an ambulance service.
As we've said, we're not an ambulance service, and instead we help people with a more comfortable transportation option with modified vehicles. We also are we will be adding a feature which you can suppose like where the cab is to ensure it is safe from like your office or from home.
These are a few screens of our app. This is the opening page. Here you can choose your driver wherever his location is. You can book now or you can choose for ride later. If you go for ride later, you can choose the date and time so that the driver will come and pick you up at that time.
So our pricing strategy is that we're going to charge 300 rupees for up to 5 kilometers. We're going to charge 500 rupees for up to 10 kilometers, and for up to 15 kilometers, we're going to charge 750. And for each extra kilometer after that, we're going to charge 50 rupees. So this is our revenue model, and these are our projections. So for the first year, we're going to have 25 cars, 10 private ambulances, and 15 private drivers. In the second year, we're going to have 60 cars, and we're going to introduce 15 of our own quick clear cars. And in the third year, we're going to have 80 cars, and in the fourth year, we're going to have 120 cars with 60 of our own and 20 and 40 private drivers and private ambulances. Rides per day will be 5 rides per day, so that will be 125 rides per day. And then it will increase in the third and the fourth year to 600. And we chose our average revenue per ride to be at 500 rupees. So yeah, that's because it's our average. Sorry, we don't have yeah. So we actually had our so this is our gross revenue, right? So in the first year we have a revenue of 2.2 crores. In the second year we have a revenue of 5.7 crores. In the third year we have a revenue of 9.6 crores, and in the fourth year we have a gross revenue of 15 crores. So what happened actually was the private ambulances are going to take 80% of their revenue. They're going to take 80%, they're going to give us 20%. The private drivers are going to take, it's actually not there, so it's supposed to be there, it's just a problem. So the private drivers are going to take 85% of their revenue and are going to give us 15%.
So, as we said before, private ambulances take 80% of their revenue, so we get 20% from the ambulances, 15% from the drivers, and we get all the revenue from our quick care cars. So our net revenue for the First year would be 38 lakhs, and second year 2.1 crores, third year 4.6 crores, and fourth year 8.8 crores. Our expenses in the first year would be 40 lakhs, so we'd have a loss of 2 lakhs in the first year. And in the second year, we have a profit of 5 lakhs. And in the third year, we have a profit of 98 lakhs. And in the fourth year, we have a profit of 2 crores. So these are how our expenses are divided. So we have the office space, the salaries, technology, quick care car, diesel, vehicle modifications, advertisement, quick care car EMIs, quick care car down payments. And the salaries are broken into 4 parts. So we have a business development manager, a few partnership executives, the technology team, and quick care car driver salaries.
So the funds we seek. So the funds we seek are, we need 5 lakhs for the mobile app development, we need 5 lakhs for launching the business, and we need 10 lakhs for office setup and advertisement, and we need 30 lakhs for vehicle modifications, as we're going to be modifying the vehicles we take from private drivers. So that adds up to 50 lakhs for the funds.
So here at PICCARE, we will be solving the problem of transportation for the disabled and the elderly, and at the same time we are making a financially workable business plan. And we would like to thank our parents, our mentor, the TYE team, and Storon for his screenshots. We are open for questions.
Again, very good presentation. I think quality of presentation, I'm using a software I know, the software I would say used, very interesting software. So high marks for presentation. My first question is it exist already?
There's one, it's called Kickstart, but they only provide a service of like for emergencies and kind of thing. We provide a service for the normal everyday commuting also.
No, I understand that. No, my question is, does it have an app for mobile app, which is GPS based, for picking up a specific target segment?
As far as we know, there is no app for it.
There is no app.
There is actually. There is one in Bangalore. There is one. No, Suresh, they don't. They're asking with their app. The company is there.
The second question I think is the technology cost. What's the basis? 3 lakh is put for GPS based integration. Or the app development, you integrate with GPS and your real time you have to measure. So is it the cost somebody giving data? What's the basis of your technology cost? The app development is okay. What about the backend? Just think about it, but I think for me it looks very low. Technology costs are, you mentioned your technology 3 lakh per year. Is there a basis for that? Who gave you the number?
We just took an assumption that it would cost that much.
I think that's probably, you need servers. I think Uber might be investing how much you think in this kind of solution. So that's something you'll have to think about. The last, of course, affordability. You put some pricing points. It's far expensive than what Uber is doing, 6 rupees a kilometer. So apart from the vehicle being modified, transportation cost and the cost is the same. So why should somebody pay you such a high rate, 50 rupees, what is that, per kilometer? Yeah. So why should somebody, what's the basis of that assumption people are willing to pay? And the last question is, why can't Uber launch it themselves?
Okay, Uber has done something like that.
You can acquire the Uber.
We will sell it.
So when you talk about competition, only you mentioned the competition listing has been a little broader, and most of the time in new businesses, your existing players are going to learn from you and then beat you. I think it's the most likely possibility. So you have to be aware of existing large players who can make minor changes or tweak it. Already sharing cabs already come, sharing cabs, right? This new innovation. So that's another question. You have to look at competition side. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think you covered most of my questions. My biggest question was what's new. This is all over the world. This is available. So is an Uber available. So that's my biggest concern going long term. That you need to find something that makes it really right for your target market. That's number one. Number two is while there are many disabled and elderly people, what segment of that is actually going to use this kind of facilities at these prices? So you need to do a little more granular understanding of your market. Number three is that I think you have underestimated the cost of vehicle modification. If it is really happening, one thing to put up a ramp at the back. But if you see some of the YouTube videos of people modifying the front seat, when the front seat comes out, it turns, people, those are extremely expensive. So your cost of vehicle modifications could go through the roof. And when the cost of vehicle modification goes up, then the driver's expectation of what the driver can get will also go through. So one other thing you should see is what's in it for the driver. Why should I give my vehicle for modification instead of it I can give it to Uber and make much more? So you must have a business model for the driver that makes it attractive.
So about that, okay, it was supposed to be on this slide, but Uber pays 7.8 rupees per kilometer, and we pay at least around 4 times more that. And then, we've calculated that the private drivers, they get 65,000 plus every month, and that's more than what Uber and Ola pay. I mean, they get from Uber and Ola per month. So that's how we're attracting them, because Uber and Ola take 20% of their revenue, we take 15%.
Somebody get an Excel sheet, you have to work for complicated.
No, it's very simple, right? It's approximate ride per average ride you said is 500. 5 rides a day. That is 2,500. 80% of 85% of that. Right? It's roughly 2,000 something a day. For 30 days is 60,000. So, and you are not paying them anything more than what an Uber gets from Uber. And I'm just using your number based on what I saw. 500 rupees a day, 85% of that times 5 or 6 is his daily earning. Right? So I'm just saying you need to relook, you have to make it attractive for the driver, otherwise you may have a great idea, but you have to question why a driver would. And in your case, the driver would have to have a bigger car than a normal car. So just think of some of these issues in your competition.
I don't have any more question, only one point here. You have private ambulances, you have private cars, and your own cars. So it's a very complicated model. One of the beauties of Uber is they don't own anything. They just own the app or the platform. So here you're creating competition among yourself. I mean, why should the private drivers think that you won't compete with them? So the question that may come to their mind. You have your own cars. You also need to ride. That way it's a more complicated model than Uber.
Sorry, I can get your question.
So in this model, you have your own cars, which you pay EMI for it. You will make profit on it. So won't there be a competition between your own cars and the private cars who sign up with you, or private ambulances sign up with you?
So, if there is competition, right, so there's more service provided to other people, right, so there'll be more revenue. But, I mean, there won't be any quarreling between these two people.
I guess another way of asking that question is if Uber can do without their own cars, why do you need to have your own cars?
It's kind of like an experiment because in the 4th year we are going to have 60 of our own cars, so more revenue for us, and that's all.
Thank you, Ken. Any questions from the audience?
I just have actually clarification for Ty. Sure. Did you insist that they should put their figures in millions, or if they themselves decided? Because if you're putting figures in millions, then please use millions. If you're going to talk to people about lakhs and crores, then put your figures in lakhs and crores. Otherwise it doesn't. We all have to do a mental adjustment of the comma every time.
So it was left up to them. So some of them, it's really up to them.
So next time we may want to tell them to put it in lakhs and crores.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So if there are no questions, I would like to request Mr. Vivek Verma to come and share a few words about how he has found the team and about the team. And Vivek was a mentor for this team.
Thank you very much. So this has been my second year working with these people in this initiative. And I think first to give a comment about the overall initiative, I really find this to be an extremely powerful initiative, because I personally believe that the thought process around entrepreneurship needs to move away from it being a skill for startups to becoming a mindset for every human being. And I think this initiative is only going to kind of help establish that, and that's my passion of getting associated with this initiative. Coming more specifically to working with this team, I think over the last 3 or 4 weeks, while I can take credit for being a mentor for the team, frankly, the effort that has gone in from me has just been that of a sounding board, because everything practically that we've seen today has largely been done by them independently. It's just that after they've done that, including the format to be used for presentation, which I think is really something which is unique. A lot of people at that age are struggling with PowerPoint, and here's a group which decided on their own that we will use Prezi. And despite advice given by us that you might find it difficult because a lot of times compatibility issue comes in, they were very confident that it doesn't matter, we will fix that, we will go early, we will fix it, but we will use this. So in that sense, I found that, and I'm sure the experience is similar with other teams, but from my experience, I think the depth of knowledge that these people are bringing to this table, and I think to that extent credit goes to TYE for helping make that process happen to facilitate that. But I think it is helping because people are understanding. And I kind of keep using this quote when I'm working with these people, and some of you might have heard me talk about it, that if I go back to my 10th grade and try and kind of imagine if someone was to ask me about a balance sheet, I'll just balance a sheet of paper on my hand and say that's the only balance sheet I know. So compared to that, when people in the 10th grade and 11th grade today are getting to this level of 3 years projection, assumptions, and all of that, I think it is a great initiative. So one round of clap to all the participants. And to TYE for facilitating. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vivek.
In fact, when I saw the criteria, I did tell them that I wish the adult entrepreneurs had this level of understanding and this skill we expecting from this kid. So you're absolutely right. I think great insight and good, excellent learning, I hope.
We also have mentored the first team, Mrs. Nandita. I would like to request her to come and share a few words.
Well, it was a very pleasant experience. My first pleasant shocker came when I realized that these guys had such great ideas and they brought so much of fresh air in our thinking. I mean, we thought that, only after a certain age you can understand so many things, as just Vivek also shared. But it was a real shocker. But my second was a major shock when I realized that these guys were busier than we were. And so there was time issues, getting them, and like every time we were trying to get them, they were out of station, they were busy with school, and I can understand that their school curriculum, it must have been really difficult for them to add this on. And with my team, of course, we had issues with time actually, that was one major issue. But other than that, I think the way they analyzed the whole thing and put it across and came up with things like he was saying, balance sheets and projections. Some of us didn't even know these things when we were at their age. So I really appreciate that. And just one thing for all of them is that don't take it as a competition. Take it as something which you'd like to pursue if you're passionate about it in future. And you can do it along with your school as well. So that's my advice to all of them. Take it beyond just the competition.
Thank you, Mrs. Nandita. So next one is Juicer. So these guys have come up with a prototype. So get ready to see it.
So our product is the juicer.
And I'm the COO of the company.
I'm Pranavi and I'm the CFO of the company. I'm sure you're all familiar with this product. It's Tropicana 100%. But do you really think it has 100% of juice in it? Actually, no. It only has 19.7% of juice. You're being fooled by buying this product. Actually, this product, not only this product, every other product in the market, most of them have very less amount of juice percentage in it, and the rest percent is all preservatives and sugar. And so this will lead to many problems such as diabetes, obesity for kids, malnutrition, and even cancer, certain cancers. So awareness is one big problem here. So, but if you see globally, 40% of the packaged juice market, the market has become health conscious, and they've turned to freshly squeezed juices, cold pressed juices, and all the other. So, but there they face a bigger problem than this. So, what do? You buy a juicer, you squeeze juice every single day whenever you want it. But do you really think by time you keep doing it every single day, you either tend to get too busy or too lazy? So, we would like to give an example of a real life example. Our mentor, Mr. Mulli Kakala, who's not here today, he's a health conscious person and he prefers freshly squeezed juices rather than Tropicana or Real. So what he does, he actually has many fruit shops, on the street. But the problem is, 90% of India's fruit shops are in unhygienic places, and they add sugar, they make milkshakes out of it, and all that. So what he does is he's busy, so he drives 1.5 hours back and forth to a juice shop in Jubilee Hills Pulpery. So he goes he wastes 1.5 hours and he pays 200 rupees for a 250 ml bottle of juice, of freshly squeezed juice. So the problem here is the lack of availability of fruit juice. So you have to either waste a lot of time, it's expensive too. So you spend a lot of money and then buy the juice, or you get it in unhygienic places for a very cheap rate, and they add more sugar, which is more unhealthier than the packaged fruit juice. So,
Okay, so what are we trying to put? How are we solving this problem? We're presenting a natural component juice. Our juice has more than 95% of natural component, and the 5% of preservatives that we're adding, they have high nutritional value. So what we all hate when products get expired, right? So we have kept a shelf life of minimum 6 months. Our product will last minimum 6 months. And why would people buy our products? Like if you see the healthy, it's easily available. And whenever you can drink it anywhere, like you're on the way to work, that's it. You just get your hand in the pocket and that's it, you have a juice. So, I asked my relatives that why would, if I present this product in the market, why would they buy it? My aunt had a very interesting point. Okay, so she gets up every day at 6 o'clock because she has to rush her child to school, and most of the time they're in the car, so she doesn't get time to make, a healthy food at home. And she's very worried that using Tropicana or Real, her kid won't get the actual nutritional value that's required. So she made a very valid point that juicer would really help her on the way, even in the car, to make a juice so her son can drink it. So our juicer is a powder, right? So it's from fresh pulp, and what we do over here is that I'll just show it to you visually. Okay, so what's it here? I'm taking a little bit of the powder, like just a tad quantity right now because it's just presenting. So and then here we have a bottle. So right, I'm just pouring a little juice into the. Right, and all I have to do is take a little water. My bad. right? A little.
You can relax, don't worry.
I'm afraid it's gonna fall. So maybe they will come. Right? So shake a little, and that's it. I have the juice ready.
The judges thought you had to look at him.
No way we have to.
Do you want to trust that?
So when we started our the project, we had a big challenge in front of us. That is the stabilizing of the powder. If we're retaining a lot of percentage of fruit in it, there obviously will be the sugar in the fruit, which will make it very sticky, like or the malt which becomes sticky in your Horlicks or Boost. So it becomes that's how sticky it becomes. So for that, we had to use some latest technology, and then it took us at least 15 days to understand what we're doing, the technology, the process, and then we finally understood the percentage of juice we're going to retain and every other the process. So what we are achieving here is it's an innovation because there's no product which has more than at least 60% of fruit in it in the market. So our product will have more than 95% of fruit content in it, and through this process we understood that nothing is impossible. The word itself says impossible.
Okay, so we have a bigger concern over here than just juice, right? So when you see, like, if you give an example, the middlemen take a lot of the farmers' money that they're actually supposed to earn. So, okay, let's say that a kg of orange costs 60 rupees for you if you go to Ratnadeep or something. The farmers get only paid 15 rupees for it. The middlemen is that the people or companies who buy from the farmers and sell it to us directly, they earn the most amount of money. So, you know what the sad cause over here is that 250,000 Indian farmers have committed suicide in the last 16 years. So it's not something small. It's a huge concern to worry about. So what are we doing here? We are directly contacting farmers. We have already negotiated a deal with a certain farmer. He's going to sell us a kg of orange for 50 rupees, and the deal we made with him, that all transactions that we do will be from his farm.
Our product actually has many health benefits. Like for example, oranges in particular produce phytonutrients which can reduce your inflammation levels, lowers blood pressure, and even balances cholesterol levels. So and then it will give you a daily supply of vitamin C to boost your immune system. And oranges the citrus juices can prevent certain diseases or cancers like throat cancer or stomach cancer. And then citric acid excretion can prevent kidney stones from forming. So that will, and then for all the diabetics people with diabetics here, you don't need to worry because our product will not spike in your blood pressure level. And the few words of warning: don't drink too much. That can cause your stomach will be upset for at least 2 days. So always remember, health is the real wealth.
Okay, so our targeted market is health conscious people and people who go to gyms and play sports. Okay, so in India alone, our market is 1,100 crores and it's growing at the rate of 6% over the last year. And according to a survey done by Euromonitor International in 2012, the market internationally was $103 billion, and it's going to be $1 trillion by 2017. Our sales strategy consists of 2 phases. The first phase is introductory phase, and the second phase is sales phase. In the introductory phase, we're going to go to events like marathons and sell our product. And during our sales phase, we're going to sell it online, and we're also going to use dietitians and nutritionists as promoters for our product. The cost of production is 130 rupees per kg, and we're going to sell it for 120 rupees per kg. So the ROI is 61.54%. We're going to be profitable. Thank you so much.
last somebody is doing something which is not an app. Talking about real products, real things. I really loved your presentation, simply because of the passion and the personal involvement you got in. Great stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Also the fact that you actually demoed. You know, a demo is far more valuable than anything you talk. And by the way, it smells like real juice. Yes, it's really good, really good. Just one, where do you access the technology from?
We use the R&D facilities of BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus.
And you know, because anything to do with food, I suspect you'll have to be absolutely certain that you know, it meets whatever standards and etc. That in any food product, and you see that indirectly, it's the distribution that is your single biggest challenge. Both getting the raw material from the farmers to where your factories are, and then actually distributing your factory. We unfortunately didn't get too much of a chance to see that aspect of it, but at some stage you should at least assure us as to what you have thought about in terms of distribution.
So, being a food product, what kind of safety or whatever standards that you have to know, regulatory standards you have to go through? We all rank it, believe in you. Do you know about that? And how much you have to, what kind of regulatory standards you have to go through?
We have to certify the place we'll be making the juice. We have to certify the hygiene thing of the place where we are producing the product, and then do some lab tests to certify that this product will not cause any health effects.
There is a fair bit of chemical analysis, etc.
So before we even get the patent to launch such a product, the government will have its own lab test before it can be released.
Those can be pretty heavy and time consuming. But anyway, good to see something we could bring.
Same thing will be about packing.
I have only two comments. First comment is that consumer products are extremely expensive to launch. And one in probably 500 brands somewhere. And the initial launch itself is somewhere in crores. So your real product, on one side, if you want to really launch it, you have to position it as a disruptive technology in the food or food juices market. And that's something you have to think through. Imagine you, Tropicana, what kind of money and power they have, and you're positioning it Tropicana. So I think sometimes most of us underestimate the consumer product launch, how complex it is, what the risks are, so you might have to think about. Second is, I think the mentor of yours seems to be influenced a lot about his habits. I don't know if he is a rule or an exception. Is that for mentor or for us? Because on one side we talk about traveling 200 rupees, traveling a long distance to for buying the right fruit juice. On the other side we talked about making it in the car. Right? You said making it in the car. But I can imagine difficult to put that spoon inside
the actual packaging, so we got a Ziploc bag instead.
Ultimately, you want to drink in the car, you would have a juice inside and drink it. No?
Yeah.
Why would I make it in the car? No, your question, is it a disruptive technology? In that case, you have to prove the disruptive technology. For adoption become easier, then it becomes, you can cut down the marketing cost. This is something you need to think. As everybody agreed, the food and consumer product is very, very tough combination to launch. The last one is, of course, when you talk about the product, now, there's no point talking about global market and all that. All startups talk about global market as if they want to reach more money. Most economists talk about Hyderabad market. You're going to be launching in Hyderabad. What is the size? What is the methodology? For example, easiest way, one can even think about, people have cart vans, which goes and samples the product across the city. Imagine buying ice creams or frozen dessert from quality, right? You have cart vans. So you have to think about some other methodology of sampling and reaching consumers. So these are some of the thoughts I want to share with you. But I like the presentation, I like the concept, as you said correctly. We need to think beyond apps, beyond technology. but it used to be coming across to be more of selling fruit juices. You know, you're selling fruit juices, which you already know. But this is a very modified, disruptive methodology of making fruit juice.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, thank you, Juice sir. Any questions from the audience for the team? And so the mentor for this team was Murli Nagala. So he was one of the founding fathers of TYE programs. So really had a good mentor. So the next team is Ijunoria. Oh, sorry. Let's check out. Yeah. So this team was mentored by Mr. Jane Rao.
And our product is called Checkout. So Checkout is basically a way to improve on your shopping experience. So this is our mission. In each grocery store, there are huge lines. And our main focus was to get rid of these lines. And our vision for the future is to implement Checkout in every phone and in every store there is. So we've identified 4 pain points. Number 1 is the consumers, who have long waiting times, who have no access to offers, and have limited payment methods. And they also don't know where the location of the shop might be. Now to merchants, there's a lack of marketing. Merchants don't market their products properly. There's a lack of visibility and no way for them to give their special offers to the consumers. So consumers don't know about those special offers. There's also no way of them to know any data trends, or no way of them to get an automatic inventory feed. As for payments, well, demonetization has happened recently. This has led to an influx in cashless transactions. Before, people used to spend lakhs of rupees on trying to make cash systems, trying to regulate those cash systems, and those payments took a long time. So demonetization has greatly helped our efforts. And these are the 4 pain points we have encountered as a group. Now I'd like to move on to Vikrant to talk about the solution.
So what exactly is Checkout? Checkout is an app which aims to reduce the worldwide problem of long lines in retail stores. Customers will simply use the barcode reader on their smartphone to scan the product and will pay through the cash portal provided by our app. Our target market consists of merchants from the lower and middle class, have a lack of IT infrastructure, and are moving towards cashless payments. We also intend to target consumers that belong to the middle class, are moving towards electronic payments as well, and are smartphone owners and belong and fall in the age group of 16 to 60 years. So how exactly does the app work? First, the user will download the free Checkout app, create an account, and add your payment options. Start scanning products using the barcode reader on your phone. Generate and edit your bill after scanning your products. Pay through the various options such as credit, debit, Paytm, etc., and other online banking services. Receive your bill through email or SMS, and finish with a great shopping experience. So our app has 2. One of them is for the customer and one of them is for the merchant. So these apps enable the both of them to communicate with each other and benefits them both. So the 4 core components used in the development of our app are PhoneGap, jQuery, MySQL database, and Android SDK.
So we will also be having a prototype demonstration at the end of the presentation. So due to a rapid growth of...
Can we have silence there, please? I think this is extremely unfair to the team which is presenting.
So due to rapid economic growth in India, we can see the retail market growing, and it's set to reach about $1.3 trillion in the next 3 to 4 years. And also, after a customer survey, we found out that 38% of the people said that paying through mobiles is comfortable, and demonetization, a moment of silence for demonetization. Not in sadness, but in happiness for us, because there'll be more cashless transactions. And we found out that food and groceries is around 60% of the retail transactions. So that's the main industry we'll be targeting, and we'll tap into other industries later. And this is a clear indication of our market. So 4.2 percent of credit card users and 22% of debit card users, but a whopping 75% mobile users, which we can target. And this slide clearly shows our target again. And we can see the rapid rise in the mobile internet users from 370 million users to 503 million users in the next 3 to 4 years. And also a 100 million increase in mobile And our market research was defined by surveys which we created through SurveyMonkey. And we sent it to a lot of people, and we received more than 50 responses from various professions to see different perspectives. And after collecting all these researches, we found out that people actually wait in line for 15 minutes, and people are actually 80% of the people in the survey reached out to us and said they would actually use the app.
So checkout brings to the table various valuable features which will significantly enhance the shopping experience. For example, our integrated GPS software allows the user to locate shops near them, which are paired with our app. Another feature are the promotional offers which the customer gets to know about, and this helps to keep them informed. We also have features such as easy payment options, which allows the customer to manage their bills efficiently and have various methods of payment to choose from. The inventory feeds notifies the store if, for example, there's a depletion of the product, allowing them to again restock it. And CRM collects data about customer purchase patterns, and therefore allows us to improve the products in the store. Okay, so this is a comprehensive table of all potential competitors in our field. So we can see that the three main competitors would be online grocery stores, normal grocery stores, and self-checkout stores. Okay, so this slide gives more info. So online grocery stores such as Big Basket, while they do have many features, results from a survey show that only 15% of people actually use these online websites. And the reason is because this limits the selection and comparison of products. Now, normal brick and mortar stores such as Ratnadeep, they are viable, except a lot of people suffer from the problem of long lines. And this is what checkout aims to solve.
For marketing, we have 4 mediums which are really effective. They are email marketing, posters, social media, and physical booths. In email marketing, we emphasize a non-intrusive way in email marketing. We also send emails to them which have promotional offers, coupons, and codes. And we very attractive posters within stores and physical, and in public places will also be set up. And we also have SEO tools and even advertising in Facebook and Twitter for B2C and LinkedIn for B2B. We also have checkout stands outside grocery stores which educate people about how to use our app. And social media marketing, we create social media marketing accounts which have so many followers. And so our marketing budget will be 6% of our revenue.
Thank you. Now, like all businesses, we have identified our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats. Now, I feel we've talked about our strengths enough and would like to move on to our weaknesses. We have limited response for business development due to less capital invested so far, and we have an internet dependency. And people without smartphones would not be able to use our app, which limits our market. Now, secondly, as our opportunities, we're targeting one of the biggest retail markets in India, which is grocery stores, about 70%. And after that, through expansion, we're going to be moving into others such as clothes and electronics. Now, digital payments are accelerating across India due to demonetization, which gives us a huge opportunity to market our product. Now, the threats would be a quick market capture by competitors, as it has taken us about 1 month to build the app, and a quick market capture would lead to less market share of our app. And new competitors with high customer base may be able to steal more market share from us, and any mergers and acquisitions would also not be very beneficial to us. So this would be our business model. We get 2% transaction fee on all payments made through checkout cash portal. Now there will be a payment gateway for all those payments made with credit and debit card. But for the integration with e-wallets, there will be no transaction fee. We would get full 2% from Paytm and MobiKwik. And then to solve the problem of security, we would have partnerships with retailers with RFID firms such as Bar Matrix to reduce theft. So this shows our projected financials. We will be moving into loss of 56 lakhs in our first year, but we will be breaking even in the third quarter of our second year. So in our first year, we're limiting our stands to Hyderabad to 100 stores in Hyderabad. In our second year, we'll be moving to Bangalore to target another 90 stores. In our third year, this is when our main expansion happens, we'll be moving to 10 stores throughout India. So to cover the losses and give us a cushion for the second year, we will be seeking a 70 lakh investment for our first round of funding. And for our second round of funding, a 5 crore investment to go to all retail outlets in the 10 cities. So this would be our financial plan. And now we'd like to show a quick demonstration of the prototype. Code scanner to scan the products. We'd like one of the judges to come up and scan the product with the smartphone.
Why is it not Android? You should run the demo first instead of that. We still not playing.
The first time you log into the app requests your location. You just have to press allow. So the graphic updates to show your current location, and when you press it, you're redirected to Google Maps with your current location set as your current destination, and you can choose where you want to go, and you'll get directions within the app. So here we'll show the judge the phone on our app.
This is three items of the Team 8 Superstore. So the app starts off like this. After you sign in, you actually go to the dashboard page, which will just go to quick recap. This is what the dashboard page looks like. You check out, and when you press get adding, it will redirect you to this page, and when you scan any item, it's added here. The barcode. And the name of the product will be price match. Once you press the so just for the audience's sake, we can show it. Yes, sir. And then following the completion of your bill, you proceed to the payment portal. Thank you.
People, how do you get people onto this? The advantage of the big basket is they deliver home right now. So how do you market is big. How do you get people to do things themselves?
So based on the consumer survey we did, over 50 people have answered from different professions, which gives us maximum perspectives. Now, about 85% said they don't like using online stores to order their fresh produce such as eggs and fruits. Because people want to go, they want to get the biggest and the best. So what our app does is it gives you the convenience to go to the store, pick up the biggest and the best, and then scan them on your phone. So you don't need to go into the lines of a huge employee and then wait for him to check out 100 products of the person in front of you, giving you 20-minute wait time. As you go, you pick up a product, you scan it, and then you take it.
You see the Amazon Go, they announced just a few days ago.
Yes, sir. So,
Okay, so one thing about Amazon Go is it's available only in certain locations, whereas we work in lots of locations. Also, Amazon Go, the thing is that they need to establish a physical space, and then maintenance would cost a lot and it would be difficult to maintain. We work with already established business because it's cheaper in that sense.
You're talking about inventory for the merchant, right? But for, let's say I'm at home and I want to go to probably the mall that's nearest to me and a big supermarket there. But I don't know what's in there in stock. Does your thing tell me upfront before I leave home? You know, very often what happens is that you go to a market and then find that the product doesn't exist there.
Yes, sir. So what our product does is, all businesses which are partnered with us, they will show up on the locator. So if Ratnadi partners with us, we will show all branches of Ratnadi which are partnered with us. So once you click it, it takes you to that store's interface where it can show you whatever products are there, and then you can go and pick it up. So we will be implementing that.
Because that requires you to create a catalog which is very intelligent. Do I search first by rice? Do I search by product? Do I search by... that is going to be a level of complexity which is different from what we have seen so far. That's number one that you need to think about. So that will be very useful. The second thing is, just think about, do you people ever go shopping to a...
Yes, sir.
At least some of the products in that are not partnered. Increasingly, they are trying to make more and more of these things. So, there may be issues in which either you will have to provide a bartending service for smaller merchants, especially local stuff and locally produced stuff, which is just so that could be, and the third thing is, in effect, I'm just taking my bag and walking out. What about theft?
Sir, so we can answer both those questions.
Yeah,
we can make it quick, sir.
Yeah, see, as we've already mentioned, each store has around 20 clerks, each one with an annual salary of 2 lakhs. Our app aims to eliminate around half of those, saving you around 20 lakhs itself. So now Bartronics, they provide RFID tags with a unique barcode for around 6 rupees. But as we expand, we intend to exploit the economies of scale and obtain them for cheaper, and we're going to attach them to each of the products. Hence that.
Sir, so how it works is there's a unique code, and each smartphone right now, which is being produced, has an NFC. So that NFC would connect to the store's database, and if you pay through your phone's NFC, it'll deactivate all the RFIDs. So if it doesn't deactivate those RFIDs, if you try to walk out, it'll beep, calling in the store's manager or closest clerk to your location.
RFID has its own challenges, but fair enough. I think that's a good answer. Why have you not thought of pharmacies?
Sir.
There are hundreds of them in this city alone, and most of us go from one place to the other looking for a product.
Sir, so again, we're not limited towards grocery stores. We're limited towards what will get us the most number of stores in the shortest amount of time. Because we'd want to improve our customer base in the first 2 years and then use marketing to expand by the 3rd year. So with that 5 crore investment, we're going to be moving out towards more industries such as clothes and pharmaceuticals, sir. So with that 5 crore investment as a cushion, we can expand to more cities and more stores in those cities.
I think, just think about what your USP is. Is it telling me that this product is definitely available in this shop nearest to me, or is it cutting my queue time? That, depending on how you look at it, you may want to get a completely different set of products.
Because we're trying to implement an app which will, at the end of the day, aid the shop, not only in removing queues, but giving them data trends, giving them inventory feeds. When the stocks are low, we'll send them an automated message. So this end of the day, this is an app which will try to help all retail outlets of different commercial uses such as pharmaceuticals and groceries. the rate at which we expand is what we're trying to figure out.
Two comments. One is about the physical attachment to the product. It is removed. Right? You will never, I'm not aware of any technology where using a software you can disable the RFID sensitivity on your packaging. You have an attachment of the packaging, which is what people use to disable. We talk about people. So if you don't remove that people, that means the guy has to remove it. I, as a person who bought it, was scanning, I remove the RFID. Otherwise, it will not. Think about it. I'm not sure, but this is my understanding. I don't think I'm going to make something like that. But second one is, I think many times most of us in the presentations think that getting the customer is easy. It's impossible. I tell you, the most expensive cost of that. So your business plan can even make saying that I want to sell it to a company. Why should I not? I present a case, but finally your primary objective is to develop the product for that and sell it to invest it. Sell it to Amazon, sell it to somebody else. It could also be a business plan. Right? We don't want to do the whole 900 yards and then over 10 cities. We are assuming that a small amount of money. I told you to launch a product in a single city cost anywhere 5 crores to 4 crores. Consumers have to use it. Consumers download the app. Here is not the merchant. Consumers download. So you are doing consumer marketing, you are doing merchant marketing. So even a business plan exit would also be different than rather than launching yourself or exiting to somebody else. Think about that as an option.
Yes, sir.
Have they done the app themselves, some external app, and the prototype or the app?
We've done the app ourselves.
Very good.
Yes, you were mentioning about 2% transaction fee, your revenue model. Who pays that?
Sir, so the store vendor would pay that 2% revenue fee, but the reason they would pay it is we're cutting them, like they don't need to pay as many salaries, they don't need to have as many swiping card systems or maintaining that systems. So we're just charging a small 2% on whatever they get, which is a reasonable rate.
2% is very high.
But we feel how much we're saving them.
The amount of money which we're saving the retailer, because they don't have to have cash counters, they don't have to have clerks, and because of the reduction in cash counters and clerks, there's also more space for product as well.
See, the non-online customers, the ones who don't have the smartphones or credit cards and all that, so they will not be able to come to the supermarket at all. There are no cash counters.
Sir, which is why we feel demonetization is helping us a lot.
And that's right. About 70-80%, that's the way forward. What happens is 20-30%, which is a good big chunk of customers, they will not be able to access the supermarket.
Yes, sir. We'll take that into consideration. We'll try to target them.
Very good job. Take a break. I would like to.
We have already seen this in ads. Okay? And people are coming. What is new in this?
Ma'am, when they're scanning it, there's one shop. This only works for that one shop. But what our app is doing, it's allowing you to go to about 100 different stores in Hyderabad and use the same outlet.
Okay, madam, if you could take it offline, that would be great. So we're going to be break in about 5 minutes of this program. We'd like to share a few words about this program.
So, good morning, guys. I was made godfather, I was made founding father, and continue to be a father. But I just want to say something in Telugu. Putrosam putrudu janainchaga kaadu aa putrunu chusi janula koniyadaga putrosam kalugunani. So when we started this TYE program about 5 years back, we didn't think that the depth of entrepreneurship can go so much deeper and seep into so many schools across the Hyderabad as a city. And I absolutely have to thank Sangha and Murli Kakarla, the two folks. It is extremely difficult to dedicate about 14 weeks at a stretch and come every Sunday. And now Venkat has taken that mantle, and he now continues to help Sangha in this process. And as a TYE Global, this is one of our flagship events when we looked at the programs, which as an largest entrepreneurship body across the world, what can we do to influence entrepreneurship? And as Vivek mentioned, I think we got to hit at the young
folks with the student level so that entrepreneurship becomes a way of thinking rather than just an idea. And today what overwhelms me is the kind of presentations and the passion with each and every student, and I think this wouldn't be possible without the support from the parents and the mentors. And I think this speaks about how the risk our society is becoming. And I keep telling, or I've been keep reminding by Ajit whenever we chat that as a society, when we move towards that risk averseness is when the entrepreneurship thing. So as a surprise gift to all of you, and with the permission of Dean Ajit Rangnekar, what we decided is the finalists of today's program, before they go to US, be it in Oregon or be it in Austin, wherever the finals are going to be, my fellow TYE Global trustee Nitin is fighting it very hard to have the finals in Oregon, but I think right now it is decided to be in Austin, but we will let you guys know. Whoever is the finalist will get 3 to 4 mentoring sessions directly from Dean Ajit. He has agreed to do that. Thank you very much. Well, I mean, he's just volunteered. Give out to the spreading of entrepreneurship. So I wish each and everyone the fantastic journey in the entrepreneurial world. This is the most exciting journey which anyone can ever dream of. Good luck. See you soon in Austin and Oregon. Well, that's what I said. It's just been volunteered. So, good luck, guys. See you guys in either Oregon or Austin. Thank you.
Thank you, Murli. So Murli always continues to be a source of inspiration for us. So we are going to take about 10-minute break. So there is tea and snacks in the next room. So please come back in about 10 minutes. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome team number 6. Their company and product is called TYE.
101 minutes each day driving. So isn't it important for us to be safe and secure while driving? Good morning to everyone here today. Today our team, our group, Red TYE, will be presenting our solution to ensure safety on roads. Today, I, Sabya, the CEO, she's Niharka, the CTO, he's Mrudul, the CMO, Sankeet, the CFO, Aishwarya, the CIO, and Nikhil, the COO. So, she's our brand new ambassador. Drivers, drunk drivers, they're a safety hazard not only to themselves but also to people around them. In 2015, more than 25,000 drunk driving cases have been registered in a metropolitan city in India. Out of these cases, 7,000 have been accidents that have caused fatal injuries or death each year.
Two words that a lot of adults love to do. A lot of adults love to do: drinking and driving. But when these two words come together, they form two other words that start with D: deadly and dangerous. Just a few of you may know, about a month ago, there was a lorry accident because the driver was driving under the influence of alcohol. He went and he hit another car and killed 3 innocent people. So not only does drinking and driving hurt yourself, but it kills the innocent victims of other people. Okay. So the industrial pain point. Every year, tens of thousands of dollars are thrown away because by insurance companies trying to protect us, trying to save us, and trying to help us. They not only do they have to pay for our actions, but the government also has to pay for actions by paying for all the men and women in uniforms who are trying to save us and all the property damage.
Since we realized the gravity of the situation, we decided to conduct a market survey. And out of all of the respondents who filled in the survey, 62.5% claimed that they had consumed alcohol outside their houses without appointing a designated driver. And 50% of respondents claimed to have
driven somewhere while under the influence of alcohol. Also, when we asked people if they would buy a product, most said that they would likely to, and contrary to our hypothesis, a lot of people who did not drink and drive also stated that they would like to buy a product. We also talked to cab companies and car manufacturers who affirm that there are no ignition lock systems currently present in India.
So it is my honor to present to you our product, Breathile. So Breathile is basically a ignition lock interface that detects the alcohol level in your blood, and if it is above the limit, it will notify you due to our, has our app on the phone, and it will notify you, and after about 5 minutes, it will tell you to please pull over, otherwise the engine will slowly stop. Also, just in case the engine stops, and you need to go somewhere still, our app allows you to call a designated driver who will arrive on the scene due to the GPS location, and it will pick you up and take you to your designated location. We have a short video.
As seen in the video, you can blow the breathalyzer and it will detect and display your alcohol levels. Then it will connect you to the app and enable you to call a designated driver.
Sorry for the clarity of the video. These are app screens from our app that goes along with the device. That's the home screen as soon as you open the app, and that's a menu of our services. The first one connects you to your designated driver. The second one is what we call a take me to a safe place feature, which checks among your network of friends in case you can't go back home, and it takes you to your friend's location instead if they can host you. And the last is a GPS tracker.
Car breathalyzers are also known as ignition interlock devices. They are as small as a cell phone and are basically connected to your vehicle's ignition system. There are basically two types of technology systems that we are going to use in our breathalyzer. The first is the breath-based system, and the second one is the touch-based system. The breath-based system is when the driver is supposed to blow into a small tube, and the breath sample is converted by the IID, the ignition interlock device, into an electrical current. The fuel cell present inside the device, which is sensitive to the ethanol, that is basically any kind of alcohol, that is going to get oxidized, and then it would collect all the alcohol present in your breath, and it would collect all the alcohol present in your breath, and then if it is beyond the preset limit, then it would alert the device, and it would again signal the smartphone about the increase in the BAC level.
So now I'm going to talk about our customers and our customer segments. So we basically aim for three things. We want for cab services, passenger and commercial vehicles, and courier services. So cab services, we plan on giving this to services like Ola and Uber as an additional safety feature which they can have in their cabs. So the passengers, when they enter the cab, they can ask the cab driver to blow into the breathalyzer, which ensures that he's not under the influence before the drive. However, if that happens to if his BAC is above the limit of 0.08%, then another driver from the same service will come and assist and take the passenger. So this is done in cab services. For passenger and commercial vehicles, we plan on having our device added to the car accessories for various dealers like Toyota, Hyundai, and services like this, where our device has the opportunity to be sold at the point of sale of these cars. So each time the car is being sold, when they provide an accessories list, we plan to have our device integrated into this list, and it's the same for commercial vehicles like trucks and other things. Now, courier services. We don't want our packages and goods to be spoiled while crossing barriers, whether they're interstate or interstate. So to ensure the safety again of these goods and ensure that there's no person in irregular working conditions to be driving these vehicles. We have them in courier services, and all the managers in each of these places can have access to the drivers and their levels of the breath before their journey starts. So these two organizations you see there, ACMA and ARA, are the organizations in India in which we need licensing and certification from. And from this we can ensure that our goods are legitimate and can be used in the market. So the market in India. So we're talking about taxi businesses. It has grown up to 20 to 25% with the major shareholders as Ola and Uber. So we plan to have potential partnerships with them. And obviously the courier service is around 14,000 crores in the past fiscal year. And the sale of passenger vehicles is continuing to increase. In only 1 month, that is August 2016, it already sold around 250,000 units. And the global market for this is $1.8 billion currently, and it's going to grow to $3.2 billion in 2020. So as you can see, there's a lot of potential and market penetration that can be done not only in India but in other countries as well. And these are the potential partnerships we can have and customers who can take our services.
So we have many marketing strategies, like it says on the board. Pilot services, like basically giving it to our potential customers, like cab services. Web presence, online advertisements. Partnership for B2B, giving our product to companies like Ola and Uber, stuff like that. Advertisement through newspapers and magazines. Sponsorship, obviously, like by going to different events and sponsoring the thing. And loyalty programs, which is basically we give them to the customers.
So we would raise funds from team, family, friends, traditional lenders, crowdfunding, angel investors, and public IPO. We would use this capital for patents, employees, purchase of machines.
When we talk about the manufacturing cost per unit, as you can see, the most expensive things are the fuel cell and the 5X cylinders. Fuel cells are used to oxidize alcohol and also generate electric current. We have used an expensive fuel cell and a nylon piston, a 5X cylinder, only because we need safety and accuracy. The machine cost is around 1.5 lakhs and the cost per unit will be 9,600. Here, as we can see, the present year 2017, our selling price is less than the cost price, which will obviously lead to a loss. 2019 will be a break-even point where we'll have no loss and no profit.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly go over the roadmap. In 2017, we want to expand the functions of our devices to detect when people feel sick or sleepy. By 2018, we want to partner with all cab services because it will be a viable partnership that runs with both parties. By 2020, we want to expand into other markets such as the healthcare sector and make our product a comprehensive road safety device. And by 2025, we want to partner with the government and car manufacturers to have it built into all cars in India.
So this is just our acknowledgement. I just wanted to thank TYE for giving us this opportunity to present our idea, and it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun, and I wanted to thank our mentor, Mr. Nalku, and Mr. Venkatesh for helping us along the way.
How did you come here? You drove?
Yeah.
You sat in the front row or the back?
Back.
Back. Did you put your seatbelt?
Yes, I always do.
At the back?
Yes.
Good. Do you realize that you are an exception? So here's my real question. Do you think that drunk drivers do not know they are drunk?
To be honest,
they choose, right? So the interesting thing about your product is it requires the driver to blow it.
Yeah.
By that time, the driver actually knows
that
he, and it's usually he, who has had one too many anything. So what extra benefit does the device give to a private? Second question is, in your all these things that you looked at, how many cab drivers have been involved in drug crime? Cab drivers. Because your majority of your target market seems to be cab drivers.
Okay, so to answer, can you repeat the first question? I'm sorry.
The first question is that most people who are drunk consciously choose to drive the car. So they are not going to, from a behavioral point of view, expecting them to blow into the thing is, they know they are drunk. Just like people in India drive without helmets, people in India drive without seat belts. I mean, isn't that they are foolish enough to know?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. But what our device is, it's connected to the ignition. So if you don't blow into it, it won't let you start the car. So you can't, in a way, you can't start the car without it.
Now, okay. So that point at least didn't come through to me. The car.
Yes, you can't start the car.
So every time you get into your car,
It'll be a little bit of a
5-second process.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a nuisance,
You
but
just,
in the
you
long
just
term,
go into it and then it'll give you the alert of how much it is. It'll display it like in seconds and then it'll just let you drive the car. However, like you were saying, sir, that drunk drivers, like they already know they're drunk. So what it does is just connects it to a designated driver with all your locations.
all that's fine. The first point is the most important point. That you cannot start the car without doing it. See, because this is what will change behavior. Okay, thank you.
Coming back to consumer behavior, what you talked about, there is a clear intention not to obey the rules. That's why you're doing this. Now you're making it mandatory for you to do. So everybody who drives the car, whether your father, your brother, everybody has to know now. Because you want to catch one driver who will drive your car in the night. Most of us don't drink in the daytime. We drink in the night, right? On a Saturday night. So the question is, how much am I going to invest as an option? You can't make it mandatory. Still, we are still, if the government makes it mandatory, we are still 4 years away, as you can see from your plan, right? First 2-3 years, we will sell it to consumers by option, by choice. How many consumers will invest? That's one question. The survey shows that a lot of people are drinking and driving, but the survey doesn't show how much are willing to pay. So here's my suggestion. My suggestion for tweaking the product a little bit. Imagine a product. Most of us, if we drink, we don't know, are we going to get caught by somebody else? That's more important to me than whether I'm drinking and driving. So if I blow into it, it tells you that you're above the limit. Most of us think 2 drinks are okay, nothing will happen. So people blow to check for themselves whether they are above the limit or not. That's step one. It's a choice. Second one, it also has users mapping, saying where the checkpoints are going on for. So today in the US, for example, people are helping each other, all the people are helping each other where the policeman is right now. So you need to bring in something to make the consumers voluntarily adopt the product rather than by enforcement. Enforcement, that's one point. Very difficult to do in India, any other countries. Second point is about calibration. Any of these products, today many of us object to the policeman because they're not calibrated. Calibration becomes real time, it has to be done periodically. Like pollution, how many people want to check the pollution machine? So even if you have a very latest technology, it has to be continuously calibrated, vetted, validated. So this is a very important issue you must think about when you present it.
The main point, what I wanted to just clarify is, you said we're going to be selling to consumers, but also besides consumers, we're selling it to the insurance companies. And the insurance companies will obviously want their customers to be safe because they save more money that way. So they'll, like, maybe I'll ask that if you install this product in your car, I'll give you a 10% discount, stuff like that. So that insurance company is another big target for us, other than cabs.
Very good point. Insurance is a regulated product. Specifically India, even though private players are there, they still driven by IRDA. So this correlated discounting model is still not very difficult to convince the regulator. Keep that also in mind. How will you convince the regulator to go for the discounted model?
Thank you.
By the way, I like your logo.
Thanks.
You should also think of connecting with the governments. and get the governments to practice, because this is an extremely socially useful and socially responsible product. And we have seen so many horrific accidents. Governments would be a good forum for you to actually get this product.
Actually, there are a lot, in US this has been done where if you have a drunk driving offense or any driving offense, automatically I think certain states in US require you to install this in your car automatically and go to your dealer and do this because you already have a pre-existing offense. So like sir was saying, government tie-up is something that's very important to us and ensure that it's there for everyone to ensure safety.
Who is your competition? Are there other products like this out there?
In India, there are no products in the market like this. In US, there's this one device called Backtracker, where their products range from $25 to $95, but they haven't really been introduced in cars. They're more like a mobile software you just breathe while you're on the go. And like they connect to other services, but it's not really in cars and ignition interlock. It hasn't been done, and like except for the government mandated ones. So the competition is not high in India. There are no existing devices like this.
I'm sorry to ask this question, but I just don't trust many of us. So what is to stop me from writing to PJ, getting PJ to blow it?
Yeah. So there's actually, we actually thought about this. We actually have it at also a couple of random points during the drive, so that you cannot, and that is, it's a wire connected to the car, so you can't pull it that far. So during the drive, you cannot like jump over you and go into it. And also, we were thinking in the future maybe a finger pad that's to this driver. That was interesting, patch-based technology.
We have the mentor here, Raghu. Okay, so we'd like to speak a few words. And
Yeah, very good morning, friends. I mean, this team has been very, very independent. I mean, I don't think I would have influenced so much. Maybe I gave a couple of inputs here and there, but otherwise the team was very, very independent. They did their own research. They came out that there is some product available in the US, and how it works in the US. And I liked the team, but I mean, there are a couple of issues the team had in terms of the availability of time, and that was the biggest challenge. They were not able to coordinate, and they had a different idea. 15 days back, they had to revisit, and then got to this idea, and they did a lot of good work. I mean, a lot of the progress happened last 3-4 days and last 1 week. But I mean, initially the team also was little dysfunctional because of the geographies and the school timings and the examination. Maybe as a time we have to see how do we make it the entire team becomes functional. I know that's one suggestion I have, but otherwise they have done a wonderful job, and I'm happy to see the way they have projected. Thank you so much.
any quick question from the audience? Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we wanted to do a prototype, but we're sorry we didn't have enough time to make the prototype.
We just thought about the video, but then I'm sorry for the clarity again.
The video was wonderful. Any one question we had?
Just curious why they haven't come.
Customer segments. So basically, I said again how I said managers, like managers in courier services, teachers at schools, they can always have a check on the levels of their drivers, and like in the morning, so they can also ensure their safety, and they can get analysis and all that will come later on, and they can also check and ensure that their drivers are always in good conditions. And expansion was not only alcohol, but also for health issues, like sometimes falling asleep while driving, like other various health issues we could include in the future.
We also had an expansion plan, which is that we will also introduce Brithai in two-wheelers, because two-wheelers is also one of the major issues for accidents, and she wants to say something.
Good chance.
Thank you.
Thanks very much again. Team Brithai. Good job, guys. Okay, so we moving on. One more question. We take it off. We can take it offline. Okay. This is really interesting. If you want to interest, go ahead talk. All right. So, my pleasure to introduce the next team, which is Team Agenoria. All yours.
Okay, so good morning, one and all present over here. So I'd just like to start with something, one of my experiences, like what I come through in everyday life. There's this neighbor of mine who is called Mr. Ramesh. We call him Ramesh Uncle. He's been on the wheelchair for the past 7 years. And when I had an interaction with him, when I was talking to him, he just told me that he was diagnosed with polio at the age of 21. Now that would just kept me like awestruck, like why at the age of 20, why is such a young person who has so much ability to do many kind of things, why is he just on the wheelchair? So I thought, and we often hear the statement, let's make a difference, we have to make a difference. I was thinking, why don't we start thinking from now? So I just thought, why don't we make or start something that will prevent people from getting this kind of diseases in the early stages itself. So thinking about that, my group and I, we've put together one small word for you, Agenoria. So I'm the CFO of Agenoria.
We'll introduce ourselves next. First, I'll tell you what Agenoria means. So Agenoria is the Roman god of baby's health. So basically, whenever a baby was born in ancient Rome, this god would take care of the baby and ensure that the baby lived to a certain age without any problems. So taking that as an inspiration, we named ourselves Agenoria, and our goal is to make sure every baby is immunized and create a better India. So this is our team. My name is Abhi, and I am the Chief Immunization Evangelist. This is Nainika, the Chief Field Officer. Shaista, the Chief Technology Officer. John, the Chief Fundraising Officer. One of our members wasn't here today, Kambir. And Tejaswini, who is the Chief Marketing Officer.
So basically, the main point obviously was that a majority of the kids born in India die because of getting a disease because of not being immunized. And over 1 million of them, or about 1 million of them, live their whole life with a disease, such as polio. And a major cause of this happening in India is because parents either forget the immunization schedule or they just neglect it because of not being informed enough. And the impact that this problem has is that more than half of the kids that are born are not, their immunization schedules are not completed. And about 10 million, 27 million children worldwide who are unimmunized are from India. And you can see the number of kids that are affected by diseases. And here's the thing, it's not just lower classes who don't finish their vaccination schedules, it's also the higher classes that, to some extent, their immunization is more, but it's not completely, it's not achieved completely. And that's something we need to strive to at least reach.
So this is where we come in. So basically, we have two services. One is for the urban market, and the second one is for the rural market. So for the urban market, what we're doing is basically an app. This app will be partnered with like corporate hospitals. So this is for the higher class. And once this app is partnered with the corporate hospitals, when a baby is born in a corporate hospital, the parents will be asked to download the app. And since whenever they're due back to the hospital to come and immunize their child, they will get reminders or they will get calls. So if there's an increase in chance if you get a call or if you see an SMS saying your child is due to the hospital, that you actually come back to the hospital and get your child immunized. So that's on an app. And for the second one is in the rural market, because we've identified that many of the people in villages all over India, they don't have smartphones, and so we can't use the same app. So what we changed was we made it an SMS-based immunization reminder system. So what happens now is whenever a child is born, we partner with the government hospitals and we ask for the parent's number for a charge of a small fee. And once we get that small fee, we send them SMS, or if they ignore the SMSs, we will call them and make sure that they bring their child to the hospital and get them immunized.
So this is an app, like the prototype of how it's gonna look like. The first one is the sign-in page where you have to enter your mobile number and have to create a password. The The second one is your account, which will have the immunization calendar, and you have to you can find the nearby hospitals, and you can also store your records. The third is your profile of the baby, where the birth date is given and the immunization dates and calendars is given.
So this is a sort of rough estimate, but there were 7 crore unimmunized children in India from ages 0 to 6. So if we charge them 100 rupees per child, this is a 700 crore market. Obviously we can't go like have a big bang approach and target everybody, but this is the potential of the market and we will target a small sector of this initially.
This is the market analysis and primary data. First one we collected from Rainbow Hospitals, which is the brand for pediatrics, and they told us that they don't provide any reminders for the kids for the immunization. And second was Dr. Sudeep. The hospital is in Mayapur, and most of the patients are from middle income group, and even they don't provide any reminders for the kids immunization. Third is Dr. Sridhar's hospital in Kadapa, which is a rural and urban area where even they don't provide any reminders for the immunization. And most of the patients in rural area, they neglect for taking the immunization. And government is providing a scheme known as urban immunization program, where they encourage the parents to immunize their kids, but it's working only till a year. After that, the parents are neglecting to take the immunization.
Okay, so the target audience. Children of ages 0 to 6 is what we are aiming at, because that is where the majority of the vaccinations take place. And the lower, poor and wretched classes, because this is where we've identified that this is 70% of India's population, and these classes is where the immunization rate is the lowest, as seen in the graph before. And first we're initially targeting Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Telangana, because we've identified these states as states with high unimmunized population. And also for the app, we are targeting urban hospitals, so this is a business to business. We're going to start from Hyderabad. And why would urban hospitals partner with us is because basically we're creating a sort of increase to their brand by telling them that now they can boast that they have like a 98% immunization rate of the babies born in their hospital, and this will give them an edge over their competitors. And our customer value propositions, it is 100% compliant with the IAP requirements. IAP is the Indian Association of Pediatrics, so this is in compliance with that. The app is simple, easy to use, and you can even find information about the certain immunizations in case you are unsure about what they're for. And the data on the go is, let's say you take a vacation somewhere out, to a foreign country, and your child gets a cut, and you don't remember whether or not they got a tetanus injection some 10 years back. So once you have the app on your phone, you can easily check that information, and that saves you the worry. And the reminders are on time, so we ensure that the clients are back at the hospital before on time, and saves them the hassle of remembering on their own. And boost immunization revenues of hospitals, because this is going to increase the number of patients coming back for their immunization, so this will increase their revenue. And our unique selling proposition is we already talked to hospitals, and hospitals have agreed that this is a major problem, and they would be willing to partner with us. And these partnerships would provide us an edge over other similar apps. And the customizable plan, since we already have a platform, we can sort of expand stuff beyond immunizations if required at a later time, such as child nutrition and other child care services. And since we're targeting rural India, language is going to be a big barrier. And for that, we've done our app in multiple languages and multiple dialects, so this ensures the maximum outreach. And also to cut costs, when we're calling people, instead of having like a person there paying him to call people and talk, we've decided to use AI speech bots, so this will save costs and increase the technology aspect of it. So you can look at the competitive landscape. So these are our main competitors. IAP is a public sector, but it doesn't have partnerships with hospitals, and its main disadvantage is that to actually avail its services, you have to like go online, and then you have to like put your phone number and your child's date of birth, and then they will start sending you SMSs. But here instead we're partnering with hospitals, so it's direct to the patients.
Okay, so next is the business model. Over here we look for how we can get our revenues. So first is the app-based revenues through ads. The third screenshot that you must have seen in the previous slide said that there are ads at the bottom. We are going to be charging the companies or the firms which want to post their ads on our group, on our app. So that's going to be few of our revenues. 20% of our commission on vaccination revenues are from the private hospitals. Like we've already spoken to Rainbow Hospitals, and they are quite interested to adapt to this kind of an app, and they want to use this kind of a system. So we are going to get that from there, and then direct one-time revenue from lower income groups, rupees 100 per child. That means that in every child there's a new infant born or something. Then okay, so you want me to go? Okay. Next slide. Next slide. The key partners are corporate hospitals like Rainbow Hospitals, public health centers. They are mostly for the rural areas. Schools in rural areas, NGOs and all, and Tracto obviously, and Melinda Foundation is one more who we have already interacted with, and they are quite interested in our product.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank TYE for giving us great opportunity for presenting our idea. We would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. S.K. Joshi sir, for his presence, and the judges also. Thank you, sir.
Questions?
I think the idea is very good. I think we need to do a little more research as to why people are not immunizing, especially lower income group. 90% of the cases, the mother is working on the day of the immunization, and that's why she doesn't immunize. So the question is, they're not immunizing because data is not available when they have to go, or it is not possible for them to travel. Second, because of this, the government is going into multivariate. They put all immunization in one multivariate. It's called 5 or 6 apps, things are combined together. So I think the concept is good. The real market for this, in my mind, is actually insurance companies. Immunization is insurance in my mind, because you are preventing against the disease. So it should be, in my mind, it can go beyond just immunization scheduling, but also where the defaults are happening. If a default is happening, many times immunization doesn't work because the cold chain is not working, some challenges there in delivery. So if you can make it a little larger than just a tracking system, and also give the tracking of what happens after the child grows up or some other data points we get, it might really become interesting.
I think it's about the same point. Look, immunization problem or all health problems are 4 A's: awareness, access, availability, and affordability. Without looking at all of those, just telling me that it needs to be done. So first think of awareness. Your own thing said that the vast majority of the people in rural areas were not aware. So sending them an SMS is not going to increase their awareness. So you need to first attack this thing at birth, in hospitals, when the child is registered. What's the importance of that? Only then will the follow-up action. Because if I don't realize the cost of my negligence, I'm not going to work. So I think you have to incorporate that in your system for it to be more. The second thing is, don't restrict yourself to child. What you have an app which reminds people. Right? Think much wider. Think in the health forum itself, everyone, whether people you can go to dentists who normally expect you to come back, and so there is a wider market available, especially in urban cities where people may find it far more useful to have some of these things. There are people who need regular doses of medicines. You'd be amazed how many of them actually don't do that. How many people don't complete the full dose of antibiotics and things, right? You could actually make it as a part of the overall health scheme form of work. And by the way, I didn't see your financials, so I'm assuming that there is something somewhere which says what it is.
I just want to tell you that if your plan succeeds, you will be holding on to a large amount of health information about lots of things. So there are also obvious privacy issues and data safety, and a lot of people may want it for other things that you should be aware of. Second is, instead of charging these people, there are a lot of government programs, at least in the rural areas. You could be providing incentive to people for coming in to take the next cycle of injections, because the government has several programs, at least the rural areas, and these foundations and CSR, you mentioned that they will be glad to partner with you. The effectiveness increases each time they take the next dose of injection. They get 50 rupees. I mean that will cut across all the lack of awareness. They'll be aware that they'll get 50 rupees. I mean, such incentives also could be given, especially the governments are very keen on these, and foundations.
So we wanted to include that, but then we got.
Actually, we couldn't do our key partner slide properly, but the awareness was we wanted to go through schools, because schools in a village setup, schools would be a place of a little more discipline, and a lot of students from different schools come to one school in one village. And if we go and talk to people at schools and talk to children at schools, the word of mouth will probably spread, and that was our idea for the awareness part of it. And also we plan to expand to door-to-door services, so in case availability, if patients cannot come to the hospital, we could charge a small fee and then go to their houses and then immunize them. And what was other?
And we also wanted
privacy, we plan to be HIPAA compliant, so the issue would be taken care of.
We also plan to expand into the other health reminders that you spoke about, dentists and the daily medicines. We wanted that was initially what we wanted to do. We wanted to make it a bigger plan, but
we already have spaces like Practo who are established in that space, so we could sort of sell our product to Practo, since that would increase their market, and it would increase awareness about immunization as well.
Good. I'm glad somebody's thinking of exit strategies on it. Thank you.
All right, so if not, I'd like to introduce.
Let's take them offline.
Sure, offline. Okay, I'd like to introduce the mentor, but Kavi, a couple of words.
This is my first time as a mentor, and I'm very excited. So many bright kids are out there, and thanks Murali for initiating this program. And I also mentor startups, and they are no different. In fact, they listen more than the startups I mentor. So that's important. Very bright, talented kids. And this is a great program for you to be part of. Whether you win or not, it doesn't matter. Great learning, and I also learned quite a few things from them. And we used the technology because I couldn't come many Sundays with my other commitments. So we used WhatsApp, we used Skype, and all of them were very, very dynamic. And surprised the 11th graders and 10th graders can go this far and push the envelope. And getting into the grassroots, getting entrepreneurship into the grassroots, that is what we need to do. And Hyderabad is the hub for that. TYE is the catalyst for that. And TYE, I'm proud member of, chartered member of, happy to be part of everything that I do. And then all the best.
Thank you, team Shukriya. We will have the final team for today, team broadcast. Welcome.
So, I'm pretty sure you're all relieved this is the last presentation for the day, because Sunday morning you had to come here early instead of having a lazy Sunday in the bed. So, just to energize you guys, let's start with a few questions. How many of you read the newspaper before coming here in the morning? Very few. Okay, let's make it more general. How many of you like to keep yourself updated with the current affairs and the whereabouts of the world? Okay, so the last question. How many of you don't get to do that because of your office work, school work, or you just can't seem to find the time for it? We the Broads seem to have the perfect solution for you. Good morning everyone, my name is Nikhil Maradi and I'm the CEO of the company.
the CFO of the company, Vignesh.
I'm Harshita and I'm the COO.
I'm Karthik and I'm CTO of the company. We present to you the broadcast, see, click and listen. Our world has changed rapidly over the past few years. And people, we are getting technologically advanced day by day. Okay, the way we commute has changed, the way we communicate has changed, and the way we choose has changed. Basically, we traveling places, we don't use a cab anymore. And to speak and to communicate, we don't use a telephone anymore. And to choose, that's easier than most of the things. And we are here to make a change. Basically, we are here to change. Basically, we are here to make the life of people all over the world more convenient than ever. By now, you must be wondering what a product is. Basically, our app is an information and entertainment app for people on the go. We have two main sectors. One is the consumer sector and other is the provider sector. The providers provide information perfectly to what the consumers want. The main pain points which we have are the global age population is growing. More people are on the go than ever before and they do not have time. There is so much amount of information present on the internet, but still there is no way to consume exactly what we want.
So what makes us different? Firstly, most of the audio news apps in the market are mostly robotic and they provide recorded news. We'll be providing live news through a reader, you and I, someone like us. But the main value proposition we provide is we change the listener's paramedic from push to pull. That basically means that we give the listener what they want. Instead of, like for example, news channels. We listen to what they give us, what news. For example, I'm interested in business news, but they're telling me what BJP did today. Instead, I can opt for what I want to listen to instead of listen to what they give me.
So basically, everybody is our customers. Everybody who's who are really interested in updating themselves. So our main target is the people who are on the go and have no time to actually get updated. So we give them this kind of audio news so that makes them get updated. So any startup you start, you have a competition. Even we have a competition, but then not too much. Most of the people don't take this kind of a path, so we don't have much big players in this path. So basically we have like 4 to 5 competitors, but we are different from them. Like they have a robot voice and a human voice, but then it's like they won't give what the listeners really want. They give whatever is happening. Same like an the radio happening. So we are different. We give what the listeners basically want. So this makes us apart from them.
So now that we know that we have a market and we have a solution for our problem, how do we get it out there in the market? Well, firstly we use the traditional means like advertising in the TV, radio, newspapers, etc. Then we use the rapidly growing social media. But our main go-to-market strategy is tying up with newspapers. Let's say, for example, Times of India. Basically, they'll be providing us with articles and the content which we provide to the content readers. So, in return, they help us market and publicize our brand. But what's in it for them? We help them venture out into a new category, new market, and we help them publicize their brand as well. So how do we make money? Firstly, we have, like I said, we license it out to major newspaper players. And the second one is the ad revenue. Like any other app, we'll be having ads being displayed on our app. That gives us revenue. And thirdly, we have the subscription from Premier users. So what features do the Premier users have? There are various features such as they don't have ads. Secondly, they can archive their news, they can download, and they even have an offline news characteristic. So how does our app work? We have a few screenshots of our app. First there's a listeners app, and then there's a readers app. So this is what the listeners app consists of. You have all the articles listed, and then you have all the readers who are online. And the readers can be anybody who has time and access to internet. So the listener picks a reader. You have ratings for the reader, just like Uber drivers or someone, and these ratings are provided by us and also the readers who rate the, listeners who rate the readers. Next, this is the reader's app, and it shows that he's online now. The listener can then send a request, and the reader can either accept the request or reject the request. Once he accepts the request, you have the article open up, and he starts reading. It starts playing for the listener, and he has the option for play or playing the article or listening to it later, and it's recorded and stored in the cloud base forever.
Basically, we have surveyed from some people. They were like really relied people, and they have already put up their startups in the market. So we have got really good feedback saying that our product was good, and some of them are here.
Our payout is very simple. It's similar as such of Uber or Ola. We give a fixed amount of remuneration to our readers, and it's based upon the hours or the content they read. And we provide incentives to the readers. These incentives are given on the basis of the extra time or even popularity or the rating of the listener.
So our future roadmap, this is not where we stop, right? So right now we're at the alpha model, which the main drawback we have in this model is we use a third-party broadcasting system called Mixler. So in the next, and it's only available for iOS users. So in the beta model, we'll be releasing an Android version, and also we'll be eliminating the third party and having our own broadcasting system. In the later versions, we'll have various other features, but the two main key features we'll be introducing is regional languages to increase the market size of our product, and also we'll be having various categories such as news, business, music. We'll even be having audiobooks.
This is a financial model for 3 years. 2017, we are our total revenue consists of licensing, advertisement, and subscription from the premium users, and operating costs and operating and fixed costs. We got like in the initial years we have a loss of 75,000. These are the figures in dollars. We got $75,000 negative of $75,000, and in the 2019 we were making a break even and even having profits of $60,000. Thank you. I hope you had a great day, and thank you for listening patiently. We are open for questions. Thank you.
So, who convinced you that live reading of news by somebody and listening by somebody else, that is a market? Is there any?
So basically we did an online survey, and for example, this is mainly focused on the working people, like, corporate employees and all that. They're always on the go when they go to office. So they can use this app while they're traveling or something, and they don't really get time to update themselves about the news. And this is not just for news. Once we expand, we'll be having various things like music and audiobooks, etc.
No, that's interesting. I mean, most of the news apps provide push technology that learn what your preferences are and so on, and Siri or somebody will read it out for you, which will be robotic, all right. But here you have this connection of readers with, you said Uber of this business. Uber existed already. There was taxi business. People needed ride. People were giving ride. Uber provided the platform to connect them. Here, this business, this segment of somebody reading something for you. I've not seen it much. I mean, maybe it will come. It's a good thing, but just something right there.
Basically, for example, I have my dad and my grandfather. My grandfather's sitting at home, and in the morning he's reading the paper. My dad's going to the office. Instead of just reading it to himself, he can read it out, and at the same time, while my dad is traveling, he can listen to the news. And for example, I want to know about anything like the Socrates principle of life or something. I just send a request, and a Wikipedia page opens up, and he can read it out to me. So he doesn't waste time reading it because
I can see the value, but I hope it picks up. Such a thing doesn't exist today. I was intrigued and happy to see such a thinking like that. I mean, whether the market exists or not.
this exactly, I guess I was worrying about the same thing. Obviously, you see there is a value for audio over reading, right? And that needs to be sussed out. And that's okay. It's a bet you're taking, and hopefully none of us can really. These are the kind of applications where you can't do a market research because they doesn't exist. So it's okay. That's fine. What is the extent of technology involved, and what extent will you have to? Because I didn't see too much of technology costs in Europe. So that's. And the other thing is, see, I use my BBC, so I get, but I know the source.
So
my worry is that in these days of false news and how will you ensure that people are getting the news they want? I mean, the news they feel they can rely on.
So in our app we have the articles listed out and also the publisher of the article and how long the article is.
Yes, but now please realize that now you are asking me to do a hell of a lot more work than I normally do. Right? I have to now go down, I have to check where the source of this. So can I select, for example, say me, if I want to use this, if I just say, look, I want it from BBC and I want it from, maybe Huffington Post or something like that. That's it.
So
can you restrict or will I be pushed, say NDTV if I don't trust?
So basically, our main value proposition is that the customer gets what he wants. So we customize. So you'll have an option to select, like if you want, you can select the publisher you want, the topic, like for example you want sports news. So you can select the publisher, for example you want ABC News, so you want BBN, BBC.
Can I pre-select?
Yes, you can.
Because on the go, the other thing that I worried a little, on the go you are asking me to do many clicks. I send some request, then I get a request, then I accept it, then something. If you are going to do something on the go, it has to be intuitive, it has to be hopefully voice driven, then it has to move fast, right? So just keep that in mind.
So the first few times it might be a little cumbersome, but then the app will be able to recognize the user's patterns and, like, for example, like he said, like Siri. So he'll sense the preferences of the customer using it. I mean, that's a future release.
I'm just trying to connect all of those and say I'm not getting it.
I think the concept of e-paper is actually designed like this only, what you said. You can pick sports page from some other paper, you can put political news from some other paper, you can choose sections of the paper and customize your own paper. So I would assume that you will do that in the first page. When you install it, you decide what you want to hear. Problem today is not about reading the news. In India, of course, especially most of us read the newspaper in the toilet. That's what you should know. Most of the people, they grow old, they carry the paper in the toilet. It's a habit. You will not change. I don't know about your generation. Still, a lot of newspaper readers today are largely focused on this. So one of the advantages of this may be you can get news from what you are not buying. I'm buying a newspaper at home, but I don't have news from other papers that I'm not subscribing to. Right? I would like to know, but I can't. For example, sitting in Hyderabad, I want to buy Mint paper. I want to read the Mint paper, but I can't afford a Mint paper. So you can open up the market for papers which I don't subscribe to. It's not going to substitute my subscription, but it's going to supplement. This is what you might have to think about. The second thing, I think our problem today is also that credibility is a bigger challenge than access to news. So can this product, for example, try and develop some model of getting credibility from the reader? The reader is the only person who's read it. I've not read it. So the reader himself comes across as somebody who does some homework or he gets access to some feedbacks, etc. Today our bigger challenge is not news. The news you can trust, including your own Jayalalitha story. She died 4 times, I think. So what if I put the point listening to the same news which I don't believe? So can we bring some element of credibility or some rating plan or I don't know what to do. So that will be, so one, reading what you don't get access to at home, supplementary. And the The second one is how do we get some credibility quotient into it, apart from the customization. I agree with the customization.
We'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Having said that, I'm looking forward to the day when I can ask Amitabh Bachchan to grade my sports news for me.
It's already available there. There's a bot, Amitabh bot, will read for you. How do you know his line?
Thank you.
Team broadcast, their coordinator was Suresh Paladavu. I believe he isn't here today, but good job, guys. So the judges may now be cloistered while they decide. We have a room for you to discuss, so that you can, Sangha will escort you to the room. To invite Dr. S.K. Joshi, our chief guest for today, special chief secretary to the Department of Irrigation and Care, Government of Telangana, and a great supporter of TYE. And as we know, the Telangana government itself is one of the focus areas is entrepreneurship, and we believe that one of the seeds of entrepreneurship is being shown, is being sown here. So it's our pleasure to invite Dr. S.K. Joshi to speak on the occasion.
Good morning, friends. I'm extremely delighted to be here, and I have listened to some of the presentations. Unfortunately, I could not listen to all of you, but 3 of you, I think our country is in safe hands. And kudos to TYE. The kind of initiative they have taken, it's wonderful. Now, only thing, some of the judges also raised these questions. We are tackling a big jigsaw puzzle, and we are tackling small parts of those puzzles. There is a need to tackle the larger puzzle, because immunization team, they said, okay, lot of them, they don't know immunization, and some suggestions came that you can add all other health applications to that, you can broaden the scope, you can, so this kind of thing perhaps, you can divide some larger sectors, say health, education, lifestyle, and within the ambit of that, perhaps all these teams, I really don't know, but I personally feel that would be very, very useful. Similarly, since there are many teams, many years, I'm sure you are keeping track of what the teams they have done, whether it was really successful or it was just a competition and they could not pursue. So that is my another submission to you. Now in our country, coming back to that, we have a mindset of saying why a particular thing can't be done. There are, perhaps it's our legacy in the past or whatever. For everything, our ecosystem says, you can't do this, or before doing this, you have to take so and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 permissions. So perhaps that ecosystem also needs to be sensitized, and from government side, I assure you that we are all for supporting such initiatives, and whichever team, the best team win, and others, they should not lose heart. This is just the beginning, and I am happy TYE is in the process of catching them young, so that this is the right age perhaps, and I was really amazed to see their responses, to understand their knowledge base is really, really amazing. So I wish all of you the best of luck and best days ahead. Thank you very much.
To felicitate the chief guest.
What felicitation? I'm one of you.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir has been a great support for TYE, and we look forward to your continued support in the future.
You know that. No, one. Oh, sorry.
There's something to read and something to keep on the
Right. Well, it was an exciting day, and as Sir said, there will be a winner, but the others are not losers by any means. All the presentations were of really high quality, and I see the quality of presentations going up every year. In fact, Pradeep and I, yesterday we were at ISB, and we had to judge 6 different presentations. And I'm telling you, the best presentation yesterday doesn't match the least one today here. Absolutely, I think each and every one of your team is a winner here. We've been doing this, every year, and putting up a program of this fairly long duration is not an easy thing. And this would not have been possible without our great supporters. Starting with Sangha and Venkatesh, they have been absolute champions. Clearly the amount of time and dedication that is needed is really taxing. And they have their day jobs, they have their own family lives and all that. But this takes up almost 3 months of Sundays are pretty much gone. And so thank you Sangha and Venkatesh. And again, this is not going to be possible without our charter members coming in and actually taking these classes for the students. And so each one of our charter members who contributed, there's a long list, so I can't name everybody, but absolutely every single charter member is a great supporter of this program, including the mentors as well as the members who have actually taught the classes. There are 2 special members who I would like to recognize. One, of course, is Subhash. Subhash has been a great supporter of TYE. Rockwell School has been kind of our go-to venue, and I don't see Subhash. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
And we have Manor Reddy. Hi, Manor. So, as I said earlier, we have announced this prototype fund. And Manor, it was actually Manor's idea, and he was the first one who stepped up and contributed 50% of that 5 lakhs. And Subhash actually augmented to that, and so that fund is available. As I said earlier, any of you can avail of that, and there are guidelines which Sangha can share, which are well spelled out. So I'm really looking forward to the team which wins today goes on to the international championships and wins there as well. So with that, of course, I would like to thank Murli. He's been, as I said, great supporter of TYE from both the global side as well as from local side here. And our judges are missing here, but clearly, they're working hard. So hopefully we will hear from them soon. With that, and Sridevi and the team, again, every Sunday is a major ask for anybody, and they have really made this happen, and I'm really happy to see that every year this participation in the schools is actually growing. I think this year we had 25 different schools represent, and 50 is probably our max we can take. We can't take any more than that. So with that, hopefully we will wait for the judges soon. Thank you very much.
Just an announcement, okay, we have nice lunch for all of you. So please don't go away. Okay, so we are going to have lunch after this. While we are waiting the judges, we would like to call upon each team one by one so that they can receive their participation certificate. So maybe I request Suresh to come over, or the chief guest and Suresh to come over and hand hand over the certificates. We'll call the teams one by one, so you can come together. You can also have a group photograph. Sure. So we start with the team Tapline. So Tapline we have first Suhas Pila. We'll have a group photo. Then we have Ritik Reddy. Ritik isn't here, so somebody can take it on his behalf. Ayush Sharma, not here. So Devaki Kaustubh. Here you are, Kaustubh. And Advait. And Rishabh. Okay, so please turn around and take a group.
Yeah. If in case you're wondering why we're calling Pradeep, he's going to be here the next president of TYE. So it's time you show up.
We can start the disruption now.
So please.
Shy behavior will not do.
Thank you, Team Tapline. Okay, so we have next, Team Obstac Marka. Obstac Marka, please. And after Obstac Marka is Quick Care, so be ready, Quick Care. Let them come. So Rebecca, please. First member is Rebecca to receive the certificate. And Rumi, yes. And Varun. And Madhav is not here. Okay, so the rest are not here. Vamsi Krishna and others. Okay, and Nandita is still here? Oh, she left. Okay, so we'll have the picture.
Get close. Thank you.
So Quick Care, are here?
People might be living thinking that normal meal is from Russia.
Yeah, and the lunch is really special today from Russia. So please, okay, so team prepare. First prepare, come. So we have first Neha. Farzan. Ria. Siddharth. Anish. Chaitanya and Rushi. So you can just take this one. Okay. And Vivek, the mentor. Please come. Thank you. Okay. So Jisoo. So Raghav. Yeah, Arman. Pranavi. And then you can take these which are Gautam and Murli Kakarla is not here.
Yeah. So please look here.
Thank you. So can we have team Ajanoria? And after Ajanoria is Britail. Be ready, Britail. Ajanoria, come along. So We have first Abhiram. Vital can be ready meanwhile. Yes, Abhiram. Nainika. Tejaswini. Khamber. Absent. John Smith. Shrestha. Super.
Come.
How do you decide roles, respective roles in your company?
We found out each other's after interaction. We found out each other's.
Yeah. Look forward. Yes, thank you.
The mentors had a lot of things to do with that. They're deciding the portfolios. The mentor decided the portfolio.
See, nobody says power behind the thought. They took the credit.
So Samya is Aishwarya, Sanket, Nikhil, Harika, and a small memento for the mascot also. No, this one is for the little girl. Come. You are good. Yeah, Raghu. Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, we missed one. That's Mridul, right? Mridul. Okay, one of you want to come here? Come. Hello?
Come.
Yeah, squeeze it. Yeah. Thank you. So broadcast, please. Nikhil. And Vignesh. Harshita. Karthik.
Come closer. Sir, please.
They're all coordinated.
Yes, thank you.
So finally, check out. Tarun first, please. Tarun. Vikhyat. Wait. Picture. Watch that. Look at the camera. That's Sahit. Then Sarvani. Sahiti. And Satvik.
All yes?
Yeah. You can take these certificates. Take these certificates. No, keep it with you.
Yes, look forward.
along with the chief guest, let's all take a big photograph while we announce for the big announcement. Come everyone.
Mentors. Subhash garu.
Sir, అందరిని చూడమంట. All of you look here. Yes. Okay, man. Okay, man.
Can we get one more?
Yeah.
All you guys.
Yes, ready?
3, 2, 1, done.
నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్ నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్ అది హైట్లో ఉన్నారు కదా అక్కడ మధ్యలో నిల్చోండి.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. Okay. త్వరగా ఎక్కువసేపు ఉండలేదు. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Exactly.
Everyone looking.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to request Mr. Suresh to take the judges.
Picture with that one, and then this to take out. Picture with that. This is for you. This is for a picture. This is what you're getting. This is only the
So before we do that, I'd like to share how we picked the judges and what criteria they used, and then I'd like to request judges to share what they observed today and any advice they have for you. So this year we made sure that judges are not from the charter member community of TYE, so that way they are completely impartial and we bring the objectivity to the criteria. So as you saw in the introduction, two of them are academicians from ISB and TYE. And another one is from the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So none of them are charter members of TYE, so we made sure that we completely got impartial, objective judges. And the criteria they used is also fairly well defined. They rated them on 8 criteria, so they chose the winning team based on that. So with that, let me invite the judges to come here, share some wisdom around that advice that would be helpful for students, and then announce the winners.
I think I am the only one for 3 of the judges. I've done 4 startups, first one failed. So I think that's the greatest lesson of my life, not about the successes that I've made. 2 or 3 quick points. I think all the kids, I'm very impressed with the presentation skills. I don't think I have half of them. I should go for classes. I think one common issue, I'm also mentoring a lot of IIT alumni. There are 2 groups of IIT alumni that I'm mentoring. But I think one of the most important things we should do is the format itself. I'm suggesting a format that one person in the group of like CMO, CEO, somebody should be a customer. It should be the most difficult customer. You should ask the most difficult question. Why should I buy? Why at this price? To create a customer as a person, the customer should come and say, I don't buy this product or whatever position he's taking. You should not side with it just because he's part of the team. There must be a strong customer, or the mentor has to play the role of a customer.
Maybe other team member can be a customer.
But I think it's critical. That's what I learned. 90% of us underestimate customer acquisition cost and customer retention cost. And I think these questions are, some of them are hypothetical, but in reality, my learning in my entrepreneurship journey, the first answer, the first why is not the real answer, the fifth why is the real answer. So we should also encourage our kids to ask the 5 why questions. Why this, why this, why this? Somewhere the fourth or fifth, the real answer lies. So even the research that we do, whatever I see in the research, I think we are still in the first level of research. You ask why that data, why that behavior, second, third level. So I think, I find in the Vanjaya group, one area where they need to improve, or as a format itself put a design on consumer insight or customer insights. They have to bring the insights on the table, and any development based on insights have a better chance of surviving than based on what is available. Yes, in the business plan, I think many of them are still influenced by chartered accountant mindset. You should make profit. Today, all of us have learned that if you make a profit, nobody will fund you. You should make a loss, huge loss. Bigger the loss, better it is. What I'm trying to say is that even in business models, 2 ideas for mentors to think about for recommendation. One, what's the exit plan? Exit need not be I go to all India, I go to 1,000 countries. How do I exit faster? Because all the investors today are looking for a faster exit, and therefore if there is a way of selling it to already an existing player, I think it's a far better solution. So that's a niche product. These products are existing, they don't have these features. I'm going to build this feature, and this in turn, I'll find a market easily. And the last one is, of course, many of us have to still learn the model on the, especially app. We have now developed an app, and I'm struggling to get a download of the app. I think app models clearly cannot be a priced model. It has to be a free model. It has to build from free to pay model over a sequence of steps. So I think that's another learning which I wanted to share, that anybody goes to market today on internet or anything, there has to be a gradation from pay, free to pay. The download will increase only with free. The moment you put even 100 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, like some of the kids civilization talk for 100 rupees, it's a very difficult model. So these are my sharing. Thank you.
So we would like to call on all the judges to come and announce the winner as well as designate the winners.
This is your area. I will contradict Murli. He runs a start. He's an entrepreneur running companies. Both of us run startup universities. And Ajit just exited.
But the business model should not be on the exit basis.
So, no, we were very impressed. I was very impressed with all the presentations. I still don't know what EBITDA is. I mean, that's the advantage of being an academic. And you also don't know? They know. Some of the kids know. So, the passion and the energy were remarkable, and I wish they will continue. I'm sure they learned a lot from this process, from the mentors, from the process itself, from each other. So that be the real learning. Wish them well for everything.
So just one. Don't look at money. Don't look at. Look at your own heart. Is this my real passion? Is this the problem that I really, really, really want to solve? And only then go after it. Because this is a cutthroat business. This is an extremely difficult business. And if your heart is not in it, if your passion is not in it, you're never going to do it. So don't start outside. Okay? You have to believe in it. I mean, only when you really, really believe in it, that you will find resources and you will find people to come and help you. Right? We did it. I remember people called us fools when we started ISP. This is never going to succeed. But if you believe in it, you can make it happen. So good luck. Amazing abilities here. I was telling somebody that at your age, I couldn't even spell Euro money, and somebody has done some research from Euro money. I said, what the hell is that? So I hope you people enjoyed it. I hope you open new ideas. This particular idea doesn't matter, but the way you think, the way you look at things in the future is what is going to change you. So good luck. Doesn't matter who the winner is, doesn't matter who the runners are there. doesn't matter what happened. Take your ideas and live them. Good luck.
Now we are going to announce the runner-up first. So I think as Suresh articulated earlier, I think everyone has put in a tremendous amount of energy in the last 1 month especially, right? So when the deadline is there, everyone, action actually happens. So, and everybody has done an amazing job. So I think most of the presentations we saw today were better than what we see in the startup world. So I think all of you should feel proud about that. So, so the runner-up is checkout team. So can I ask checkout team? So we will hand out the certificates from the. So maybe request Sajay to come. So this Tharan Malazmi.
Sir, please.
So one of the things you people should also learn is how to accept certificates and rewards, because you will get many of them. The chief guest is not important, the camera is important.
Ask our chief guest, please.
The winner is Juicer.
Raghav, please. This is Raghav, please. Arman. And Sonal.
Yes, sir, please.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, chief guest.
Good job. Great job.
Actually, if you would like to give a demonstration of this to show him what it is. Not something really. In case the winning team can't go for whatever reason, then we will send another team. So that's how this will work. So now we are at the end of the session. So I'd like to thank few really important contributors that without this it wouldn't have happened. So okay, the winner and runners, if you don't, hey, winners and runners up, if you don't keep quiet, we'll take back your prizes. Alright, thank you. So the first set of people that made this possible are the mentors. So I'd like to just call out their names and thank them. So Mr. Bias Dev, Mr. Vivek Verma, Mr. Bud, Ditakavi, Mr. Suresh,
Paladugu, Mr. Nandita Das, Mrs. Nandita Das, Mr. Murli Kakala, Mr. Raghu Babu, and Mr. K.D. Rao. So they spent not like a couple of weekends with the kids during intense few-hour sessions, mentoring sessions, and they also were live with them pretty much throughout the last 1 month on WhatsApp, Skype, whatever works for the students. Right? So that's a very amazing job. So one challenge we always found in these TYE sessions is getting the mentors and students to connect. So I think WhatsApp solved the problem this year. So that's how the new technology is helping us. Then we had an amazing set of speakers, and most of them volunteered for free to come and teach the students about different aspects of entrepreneurship. Most of them are not here today, but I'd like to just call out the name. So we had design thinking from faculty from ISB, teachers from ISB came and taught us. So Anshul Sood and Arnav, so both of them are NUS team members. So they gave a flying start to this program. And that's how students found how to identify pain points and come up with solutions for it. Then some of the mentors also presented, taught very valuable lessons to our students. Then the third set of people are the TYE secretariat, especially Prasanna, who has been at all the parent sessions. So I think just to acknowledge that contribution, prior to this year, we didn't have dedicated team from TYE secretariats helping us, right? So as volunteers, Venkatesh, me and others, we used to take care of a lot of things. But this year, she made a cakewalk for us. So thank you very much. I would also like to thank Sridevi and her team. Without their support, this wouldn't have been possible. And the fourth group is our sponsors. We haven't yet tapped into that. Actually, we did to some extent. So Mr. Subhash Koda, who has volunteered his school for all the 11 centers. So Mr. Murli and Subhash also contribute to the prototype fund. So that's something we haven't tapped yet. So I would encourage all the students to apply for this prototype fund. So you'll be given about 2 lakhs per group, and you can actually use this money to build a prototype. So whether you want today or not, we still encourage all teams to apply for it, get the funds, and actually build the app or the product that you pitch for today. So I think that would be really awesome if you can do it.
Thank you, Sangha. Thank you. I would like to give a special mention to Mr. Manohar Reddy Garu, who is amongst us. He has been the pioneer. He has initiated the prototype fund, and he's already with us. And along with Dr. School. Thank you, sir. Thank you again. And I would request all the parents, all the judges, and all our honored chief guests, and all the students to join us for lunch. Inner Chef lunch is waiting for you, piping hot. Please let us all join for lunch. One last thing. Let us all clap for every student who has given their 10 weeks of time. Everybody is in there. Everybody. Thank you. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students, for making this a great initiative. Thank you.